Organic Dope. This is episode 29, the 10th Armfighter discussion. I'm here with the captain, Matt Ellis, and the new big star, Mikey Vola.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And the big guys, we got the powerhouses coming out from Gateway tonight.
I think all the power's sitting over here after his performance here lately over in Illinois.
Definitely put some eyes on him, huh?
I was excited just watching it. I couldn't imagine what you felt like in that moment.
Man, it definitely was a crazy feeling. I think I was a little starstruck at first, you know?
Yeah, that was
especially in the straps. The one you get to see it last. It's like the fourth video. But when I got to pull them in the straps and I did that, I was a little amazed.
Yeah, it was. I watched it and I'm like, this should be interesting because I knew you're in a good position. You're very strong right now, and I knew. What's the problem?
Where I pulled, getting doubled up somewhere.
Ooh.
Oh, I do kind of hear it a little bit.
Yeah. Technical difficulties.
Yep.
Too much awesomeness in one room.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Not sure if that one was going to work. Where are we doubled up here? Check. All right. I don't know.
We good?
We're good.
Good.
Nice.
We just a couple things ain't right, I guess. I don't know where that extra sound was coming from. So we're good. Anyway, sorry about that.
All good. No, we were just talking about how you felt in that moment. I'm kind of curious, what did you think going into that match, knowing you had to pull him, in the moment of the match where it stops and then immediately after?
So all the way up until that match, I felt amazing. So I was like, I was still confident when I went against him, but I knew who he was, you know? So it's like, it's in the back of your head. But when we went to the straps the first time, I think that was the first match. We went to the straps. And we both stopped. I was able to stop him and pull him to my side.
Yep.
It was crazy. It was a crazy feeling. I can't explain that feeling. I don't even think it hit me until after the match. If you watch the video, you see me like I'm in it, and then I'm still a little like weirded out that it happened, and then I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
you know. But
yeah, it was fun to watch. It's because I mean, when you see somebody that's coming up like you are against an established puller, where everybody knows Pablo at this point, like he's cracked some of the top guys, you know, here recently. So to see you, a local guy, get a huge win like that, that's a big feather in your cap, you know.
Oh, most definitely.
Is that, I would assume that's your biggest win to date, right? Since you started
yes,
playing?
most definitely.
Yeah, that was incredible. It was fun to watch. I got real excited just sitting there watching it on TV. I'm like, man,
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah,
it was an awesome day.
Yeah,
really good day.
Oh yeah.
But then I got humbled by Kansas City, so we're back at the drawing boards.
Yeah, well, it happens. But a lot of it, I think, is just getting the win and knowing, you know, like, look, I do belong here. Like, if I can beat Pablo, like I could beat anybody he beat, right? Like I'm in that, I'm at that level. So a lot of it, I think, on wins like that isn't necessarily just getting the win, but just
like, you know,
the confidence
belong.
boost.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Confidence boost of not being beat when you get up to the table.
I agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, now you kind of know what you're capable of and where the bar is at, and now you can just keep going. I mean, that has to be a huge motivator, right?
It definitely was.
Yeah. That was awesome.
But it was I still kind of chilled out after that. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm doing good, you know? You know, my practice, because I only practice the once a week, and I'll bench a few times throughout the week. I try to get off my butt, but I don't do as much as I should. So whenever you complete a tournament like that, first and second place, you know, first left or first right hand, second left, or it's like you're not humble. You know, it takes a second to humble yourself. You're like, I'm good. What I'm doing is fine.
Yeah.
And really what I'm doing is not fine, because the next tournament, I'm like, I'll find out by the next tournament. The next tournament really humbled me, you know, but I just got to get back in there and get back to the weights the way I was, you know, so
now
110%.
when you're working out, I know you mentioned a little bit and you said benching. Is there anything that you do specifically geared towards arm wrestling, or are you just looking for overall strength?
I'm an overall strength guy,
Yeah.
but I do a lot of, the one workout I do work into for arm wrestling is side pressure.
Yeah.
I do a lot of side pressure workout just because it's easy to turn to your side and grab a pulley and just pull it to your side, so that's one of the things I do corresponding to my workout is side pressure always.
Great.
I guess hammer curls, so some back pressure for sure, but nothing in particular, just overall strength. I work on my strength, and then when I get out there on them tables with you guys, man, you guys let me know what I'm missing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, maybe I need to go back and work on some back pressure.
Yeah. I think every time I show up to practice, there's a laundry list of things I feel like I need to work on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So many
Most
strong
definitely.
guys. Yeah.
Getting stronger around here.
That's for sure. Yeah.
We got a lot of heavy guys too. A lot of supers. So.
Yeah. Well, I would say depth-wise, when you look at it, at least the surrounding teams, I mean, the team here is very deep overall, from the highest, weight levels, say 300, 300 plus, all the way down to, 160, 154s.
Yeah. And talent too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The depth-wise is pretty impressive for a team. Normally you see like a couple guys that are really good on a team, then it kind of tapers. Mm-hmm. But here, every weight
class almost we have somebody that can give you
a hard time.
That's why I think I do want to throw the name in the hat, throw Gateway into that team thing in Illinois.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't see why not.
I have a hard time thinking many clubs can, like you said, have that depth where I'll bring 10 guys in the weight classes, and we'll be competitive in all of those classes. So we might not win every one, but we're going to be competitive in all of them. And I don't know how many teams are actually bringing 10 different guys from weight classes, left hand, right hand.
That's what I was going to say is like we have options in classes too. Like it's not just like heavyweight, for instance. We got Thomas, me. Like it's like you can't just go to one. There's not just one option. You can go to there's multiple guys you can go to and be like, hey, who do I need pulling for me this day in this weight class? Like I could not show up or be hurt or anything. We got other guys to pull for us. It's like having It's like having second string, third string guys.
Yeah, but you got to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're already on there. We would have
took a whole 7 minutes, and he kicked you right square in the shins. No, and you mentioned Thomas too. He's another guy that's really progressed. Gotten a lot stronger, and I'm really excited to see where he goes because he's passionate and he just continues to work hard. And like in practice, he works most of the time, right? Unless he needs to take a little bit of a break, but start to finish, like he's just grinding, right? And you mentioned Oscar earlier. He comes back, full tilt like he used to. He's gonna be a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, he's feeling strong too. He's still feeling strong.
For a guy his size, he's awkward strong.
Yeah,
he's got that spot. Even if you bust his hand open, his biceps so strong he can just hold you.
Man, I don't mind the holding. It's that jerking crap that he does. I tell you what, it gets in them. It's like it's irking right in them, getting right in the creases of them joints. Causing major pain.
Oh yeah,
with the flop wrist shit too, and how you go back and forth.
Oh man,
yeah,
it's interesting.
The only time we've pulled in a tournament, I've flashed him. I'm like, listen, we're not getting in. You don't
even want to deal with it. Yeah, no.
Normally I don't mind, but with him, I know it's going to be a 10-minute process to finish the match. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So I'm just going to load in your fingers, and I'm coming back this way. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his spots where you can get through him.
Yeah,
he's definitely sticky.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he got a win on handling Brewski's one time, and I think he's beaten Wykley.
He's beaten, if he's beaten handling,
here's
he's
the
done
thing
better
about
than
him
me.
too, though, is he goes in so many weight classes.
Yeah.
That sometimes, say we start in a heavyweight class before we get to his, like he just completely messed his whole entire because he's pulling us big guys.
Yeah.
We got him worn out before he even touches his weight class. He's done. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't.
I've had that conversation with him before though. Like, hey, just stick to your class and maybe one above. And I was like,
but
the results are going to be.
He will now.
Yeah.
He's past all that.
Yeah.
Everybody has those phases. They want to compete all. I mean, I was there. I used to compete a ton of classes, multiple classes, plus the Masters and the Opens, and I can't do it.
I don't have the option, so I guess it's not. It don't even register for me,
I just like I don't know. My arms don't hold up like they did.
Well,
or they will that day,
Yeah.
I guess. But then it sets me back so far that it's like, how hard do I want to go to not train for 3 weeks or a month? Because I pull twice a week.
Yeah.
I don't want to not pull.
I don't know how you do it. After those two times I showed up here, so that Christmas practice and then the week after, like after that, my elbow was pretty sore for almost a month. I'm like, I can't do that like I used to, where it was every Thursday or a tournament.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been telling me I've been over pulling for years.
Yeah.
They're always like, you need to do it like once every 3 weeks and then just hit the gym. And I always told you I'm not good enough for that. I need to still learn. I'm still probably not good enough. It'd probably be better now. It would be a lot more beneficial to hit gym because I just need to be stronger. But I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep pulling. It's not that important to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to get better, so I do want to pull, but it's not like I'm not going to get out there and just start crushing weights because, oh man, I gotta get to this level. Like I'm not going to get anywhere. So as long as I'm just increasing, I'm good.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd rather build a team though. I got some champs coming. Right?
I think they're here.
Yeah, we got guys on the team. So as long as they're getting better, most of the people that come in, I always teach. When I'm pulling with them, I'm teaching how to beat me if I'm beating them.
Yeah.
And now I can't beat barely any of them. So
a lot of strong kids. I say kids.
Young too. No, man, they're young.
No, because we have a bunch.
Yeah, a lot of guys that are early 20s.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, because I think that's about the time I started, I guess technically, because I've been around the sport since late 2012. So was in my mid to lower 20s, so about that time frame.
Man, I wish I'd have known about this stuff. Philip kind of told me about it a long time ago, but I was just like, it's something we did as a kid. I didn't really take him too serious,
Yeah.
And then.
So when you got in, how long till Philip showed up?
So I was probably in the sport a couple of years before he came around. I think one of his first tournaments was like, Brewski's tournament, and then he saw us after pulling, and he came up and started talking to us, and I told him obviously we practice, and he just started showing up, and there was usually only, at most 8 guys at a practice, and that's potentially pulling a couple guys from Illinois, so normally it was only 4 to 6 people. It was good because you got to pull a lot on the table, and you didn't need a lot of space to get everybody working, but yeah, he was sneaky too. Philip was sneaky with a little press.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he still got it a little bit.
Yeah, he was strong, very strong for his size, and I think he even made 76 too at one point. And I remember he hated cutting weight. He used to talk about how it sucked. I remember that, but yeah, there was a handful of people. They came to a tournament and then they just started practicing afterwards, similar to what I did. So.
Yeah, because he was around when I got in. So you guys had already had your team pretty locked in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest our team actually got was maybe 10 to 15 guys, like, consistent guys who were in and out pulling. So, yeah.
And you're back at it.
I mean, I don't know about back at
Let's
it. We're going to find out.
Weighing in at 210 right now. You're going to make 190?
It's not if, it's when.
It's when.
Yeah. I'm going to make
Strongest badge?
I'll be there, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should be there by
that 190? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be 190 by then,
that
for sure.
210's there's a major difference between 190 and 210, I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. It's, and that's the funny thing, because I'll look at the rankings, just see how they move and stuff after tournaments, and you just look at the 210 class, and it's a shark tank. Oh, watch out.
Let everything go wrong today.
Yeah, it's, there has been a lot of movement, though, with all the tournaments going on. Guys shuffling around in the rankings.
Yeah, a lot of people actually out there pulling, Yeah. So I think that's good. You need more of that, There's too much of the saving the rankings and I don't want to pull because I want to be. I just pull. Just keep pulling, and the rankings will fall where they're supposed to fall.
Yeah.
I think that's always going to be a problem. I mean, you can't stop that. It happens in every sport.
100%.
You can look at it, the UFC, people do it. So I just wish everybody would just pull. It's like I wish the rankings were there, but nobody used them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, if you look at every weight class, they're good, and everybody that's in it, there's really no guys in there that or girls or ladies, sorry, that I would say are just pushovers. where it's like, oh, they're just on there because they're friends with somebody. You look at all the different weight classes, and it's like, to get on it, you're doing something. To get in the top 10, you got to work even harder. To get in the top 5, you better be on it.
I've been focusing on it more since that Illinois tournament. You know, I've been like almost, there for a second. I was almost addicted to the, like, I'm like, when's it going to change? When's it going to? Is it going to change?
Right.
You know, so I'm watching it and stuff. But it's like I'm looking at those top 10 guys. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it's 10 or 1. I mean, yeah, the 1, there's a major difference from 1 to 10, but from the 3 to 10, it's like any one of them guys can beat you. I feel like just the same. It's like it doesn't matter if I pick 3 or 10. You know.
Yeah. The super division too on those rankings is, I mean, it's shaky. It's completely shaky. You got like the top 5 guys, maybe the top 7 guys or something, and then it gets real muddy.
Yeah.
You know, real muddy. So you got like some guys that you have to have up there because they beat top guys, but then you're like, but they've taken these losses and these guys have beat them, and it's very muddy, I would say, from like number 8 to 25 even. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of top, you know, I always say a top 25 guy being in that 30 range, which I would call you that at this point. Yeah. Right? I mean, you're a couple wins away from that.
At a tournament, too, at a tournament, it doesn't. Luck of the draw, man. Like, I'll tell you what, I get lucky at tournaments. I don't mean, maybe I should knock on some wood, but.
I would.
But, you know, it's like, I've had tournaments where I've gotten crappy draws, though, but I've had ones where I've had really good draws. I end up on the A side, and everybody's worked the entire time, and I've been able to kick back and relax. Yeah. Almost. Not literally, but you know how it is. Yeah. You know, and you get some of the tournaments where you feel like you got a little bit more break than the rest of them, and you come out on top, man. It helps. It definitely does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the draw plays a big role in the standings a lot, especially if it's a deeper class. A lot of talent there. Draw plays even more of a factor. So.
Holy shit.
Rat.
The Arnolds, man, going on right now.
Yeah.
77 entries.
Somebody had it live. I was watching it live and then exited off.
Cut off. Yeah, because there's supposed to be no live feeds there because it's on pay-per-view.
I was going to share it and I didn't because I'm like, I know this guy is not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, frowned upon.
Yeah, and I was watching it for a good while too. Like, I'm not going to lie.
I'm sure he wanted it shared though. You know.
Yeah, I saw some.
It's going to be shared eventually, anyways. I mean,
I saw the brackets after the first round. I guess if you want to call it the first day. It was interesting. The classes look like they're good to watch. I just want to point out left hand matters.
I got the brackets.
Left-handed arms matter.
Yeah, who said that? I seen
it's always been that way. It's just because of time restrictions that they can't have both sides. That was always been.
Yeah, they only got 2.5 hours on stage between both days.
Well, I seen something where somebody was like, "Oh, this is when I used to work at left hand when it mattered," and I'm like, why do I keep seeing this everywhere? Like when left hand mattered, I'm like, I was like, when did it not matter? I thought it always mattered.
Yeah, it's always been because of the tight time frame that they can only do right hand, and they assume that most people pull right handed over left. So I mean, it's more natural. More people.
I do now. I used to pull left hand over right.
Yeah. And
then now I pull left hand just for fun. And I pull right hand. If my left hand's feeling good when I go into a tournament, I'm going to pull left hand no matter. Because you never know.
Yeah,
I'll come.
Some hands just don't show up.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt don't know. I don't think he's ever pulled right-handed in a tournament.
I have. If you look at what is that called, the point style rankings? What's it called?
The airs?
Yeah, airs.
Yeah.
I'm actually on the right-handed side.
Yeah.
Yeah, from when I used to pull right-handed.
Shit.
It's nothing to write home about. That's for sure. Any decent, I would say, any mid-level amateur in the 54s or 76s will beat my right hand. So nothing to talk about. I can barely hold the steering wheel and drive right-handed.
I guess it's a major difference like that for me now, but it didn't used to be, man. I don't know what happened. I took a year off almost and come back, and my left hand just drastically underneath my right.
Yeah.
Because I write left-handed and stuff. I guess I'm ambidextrous and I do it, but I'm right-hand dominant.
Oh, okay.
But I do write left-handed and everything else left-handed, so.
Nice.
I'm horrible left-handed, but I always pulled just because. You know, you might as well pull both. You never know when one shows up. Yeah. And sometimes I would do better left. It's finally coming to where I got something, but it's still.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that tournament where you're like, I know I'm going to do good right-handed, and you come in second or first left-handed, and don't even come in fourth or fifth right-handed. You're like,
haven't even really trained.
Yeah, it's like, damn,
yeah.
I wasn't even going to pull left-handed. I'm glad I did. Shit.
Yeah.
So with the Arnolds, what do you got in 54? DeVete didn't show up.
Yeah, I didn't see him on there.
So we don't get to see the DeVete Roman match, which I was looking forward to.
Yeah. I would say Roman's favored in that class.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's...
By far.
For his weight, how strong he is, it's unfair. Pup on the loose.
Professional around here.
The 76 class was what I was interested to see how that shook out. That's pretty deep.
Which one?
The 76.
Let me pull that up real quick.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I looked at the brackets briefly when I was eating dinner at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm like an old person.
Me too.
Yeah. There it is.
All right. That's a big class.
Yeah.
Bill.
Very big.
What class are we looking at?
176. It looked like the big...
Oh, did you? I pulled 54.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
good. I think the 54 and the 76 were probably maybe the most entries.
54 looks like it's got 17 or something.
That's such a major pound difference, too. It's
Yeah.
20-something pound difference.
That's a lot of guys.
15 guys, I think.
Yeah. That's a lot of pulling.
Like 76 has got 14, maybe.
Yeah.
Is this at the Arnold right now?
Yeah. Who's A side in 76?
So 76, we're still with Dustin Hyatt and Luke Kent on the A side. So splitting them up's pretty good because I wanted to see that. That's a tough match for Dusty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Luke Kent's he had to be the favorite going in, I would think, right? Is he the champ too from last year?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so.
He's probably moving to the 72 ranks on Armfighter.
Luke.
Yeah.
I would put him there. He can make 72s.
Yeah, it's just that he's not. So yeah, this is going to probably help determine where he's going because Dustin Hyatt is number 3 right-handed, I believe, maybe number 4.
4, I think. Yeah.
Luke Kent, I mean,
He'll
is
be top
arguably
3.
up top.
So depending, in the Armfighter, I'm not 100% sure. Austin Tevis is first, right? And then
Austin Tevis is number 1 now. Yeah. Well, no, Corey Miller's actually not ranked at the moment because he's injured.
Right.
So
okay.
He actually asked to be taken off while he was injured to not screw up the.
Yeah, because he could stay on for a year technically.
Yeah, he would still be on there.
Yeah.
But then it drops him down, and then he's got to be thrown somewhere, and it doesn't really make sense. And
yeah.
So that works out.
Is it his shoulder or his elbow that was giving him problems? I can't remember.
I think it's like an elbow tendon.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
He said what it was, but I don't know all them damn terms. All right, so let's see.
The ulnar collateral ligament.
Yeah, Tevis and then Hale and Simon. So, and that's the thing. So Tevis should go to WAF Nationals, right? Because that's in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
It would make no sense not to. So you have the top 3, 72 guys at that tournament. 1, 2, and 3. Because Jeff will be there for sure. He's always there. Simon runs it,
okay.
So he'll pull it, right?
I would be surprised if Jeff didn't go, considering he's from Oklahoma. It's a short drive up.
Jeff was there last year. I think he goes all the time, but he makes 65, but I think pulls both.
Who's number 4?
Devin Bear.
I would say he'll go.
It all depends on his schedule because
Yeah.
he's he works so much.
If you can get the top 5 in that class there, that'd be awesome to see, because even though like you're going to draw somebody good because the bracket's only going to be so big, so you have to pull at least 1 or 2 of those guys to make it through to first. So that's really going to shake that list up a bit. But
well, Vaz will be there.
Yeah. So hypothetically, the top 4 or 5 guys show up. Do you see any movement in that list? Is there any shuffling? I think so.
I think Tevis has it. That's a tough tournament for Tevis.
Yeah. Who's his toughest matchup out of those 4 or 5
Probably
guys?
Simon.
Tevis is at the Arnold's?
No, he just pulled
I was
Illinois
gonna say,
State.
He was at Kansas City too.
Yeah.
I'm like, he pulled Arnold's?
No, we're just talking about the rankings
Okay.
because the national.
Like, this kid's crazy.
Yeah.
His recovery time's crazy.
Nationals is in Kansas City, and so all these guys are in pretty close proximity. So we're talking about if they all show up, will he get knocked out of first place because he just got there due to the depth of the class? Like, is there gonna be any movement in it? I think there will be. I mean, obviously somebody has to lose, so there's got to be some movement.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But who goes where is what I'm interested in seeing. I would say Devin. If Devin can show up, he bumps up to top 3. That'd be my guess, and I can't see who's behind him. My eyes are terrible. Do not let me drive with corrective lenses.
It's Alan Fisher, number 5, and then Dustin, Chris Mowry.
Dustin, I would say, will go. I don't know about Alan.
I don't know about Dustin. He wasn't there last year, but I don't know why. The WAF thing. He's an IFA guy. I don't know if it matters.
Yeah.
But I know with WAF, what's the point of going?
Yeah.
To qualify if you're not going to be able to compete.
Yeah.
You know.
I always said if I would actually compete and qualify, I would definitely go. I mean, it's a lot of money, but you know.
Oh, where's it at this year? Ohio?
This one is in Kansas City. So what is that?
Well, IFA is in Joliet by Chicago,
yeah.
And then WAF is Kansas City. We could hit both though, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we could hit them anyway, theoretically, but it's a lot nicer to go 3-4 hours out.
Do you smoke, brother?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
No problem. Just thought I'd ask.
No.
We just keep passing it back and forth. Fuck you.
No, you're good. The rotation's good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know. I probably, but I mean, I could see Austin winning those two. But Jeff Hale's probably going to turn him into a hook.
Yep, that's what I'm really interested to see.
But Tevis, I mean, so did Devin, and Tevis was still with him, left-handed even. Like Devin won because he just out arm wrestled him, and he's been doing it forever.
Yeah,
but he was in that match.
I think the difference. Because
Tevis is still green, man.
Yeah, that's what he had. Like at this point, he's really great for how long he's been in sport. Like it's a little over a year now. Like he's for how long he's been in it, he's accomplished a ton. But I think the difference maker is going to be experience and stamina. These guys have been in tournaments that are deep classes. They've been in those grinders. They can come back from that and still place top 2 or 3. That's what I'm interested to see is when he gets in deep waters in a tough match, what happens.
Or he could be back by then.
You think so?
It's possible. Whether he will be or not. Actually, I don't know. He said he was going to be out for a while. So
yeah, I didn't assume. I figured
no.
he would be out at least a year.
Or like see him in the class that's happening right now. You know what I mean? Like where he would place in that. Like it wouldn't probably be.
Yeah.
You know, he's 1 right now, right? Correct?
Well, he was. Austin beat him, and then he pulled himself off the rankings because he got hurt. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a fun class to watch, in my opinion, because it's a lot of different styles.
Yeah, you throw him in there. He's pretty green. You throw him in there with a lot of them.
Yeah.
He's not going to be up there at the top of 5 of them guys. He'll probably be in the 3rd or 4th place of 5 of them guys.
I could see Greg Gray showing up to
like a round robin or something like that. Yeah, he's not going to be. That would put a damper on him.
Yeah, I think he'd still do very well. I just don't know how well, right? Because that's a lot of depth.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting. It'd be fun to watch. I hope they all show up. You just never know, like who's going to show up. That's the bad part. But
Jeff and Simon will be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Tevis. So I mean, you're almost guaranteeing the top 3 are there, unless I guess
if you're ranked,
somebody beats Tevis before then.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. The rest of the list, there's probably guys in proximity that'll still show up. That can,
It's like if I was in top 10, if somebody calls me out, it's like I almost wouldn't care where it is within the 50 states. Like I'm going to find a way to show up there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know about anybody else, but definitely me. I would take it a little bit more serious if I was in top 10. Somebody called me up.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be there.
There you go. I do want to say he did incredible at Illinois, considering that was his first time making weight in that weight class. First cut, I would say. And to beat those guys that he beat was pretty impressive. And he performed well both arms.
Mm-hmm.
And considering he's been in the sport less than 2 years, that's pretty crazy. That's not easy to do. I mean, that just shows he has a lot of raw talent. and a knack for the
that
sport.
hand and wrist, man.
Yeah, it's if he stays with it and stays healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, and learns a little more because he's still not technically doing what he can do. It's like you, like
I'm still learning stuff.
he's technically he's still not doing anything.
Yeah.
He's just posting side, go to the pad.
Yep.
That's the thing. If you're good enough at it right now, you only need one lane, right?
Yeah. So I tell him it's a strength sport still overall. So as long as that's there, you could fall back on it.
Yeah.
But we got to get to where you don't have to use it as much, so you can just conserve it.
Right.
Because there's going to be times you need that and the angles.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
100%.
But then what, right? It's like you could catch some motherfuckers then if you got all that shit.
Yeah.
I've been training with all you guys for a while now, man, and I'll still be on the table and learn something new from one of you guys. I'm like, why didn't you guys teach me this yesterday? What the hell's going on around here? You guys just now showing me this shit?
Well, I think too, when you get to a certain level of puller, they don't give you as much information because the little things that took them a while to figure out and put together and what works for them, they kind of hide it. Not like a secret, but they're not just going to tell you, right? You just kind of have to watch them and figure out what they do. And you can ask questions. Some of them will tell you, but you'll notice, like, especially after pulling, like most elite level pullers, at least regionally from what I've watched, they'll pull like other people on side tables, but you won't see them pull each other most of the time, right? Unless they know there's a distinct difference between them. But if they're close, you won't see them pull, which is smart. I don't blame them. I would be the same way. If I know I'm close to somebody and I want to beat them, I'm going to try to pull them. But if I know they're coming for me or they're like coming up, I don't want to pull them because I don't want them feeling me. I don't want them to know what I have or where
you
I'm
don't
at.
know how far away they are.
Right, exactly. I want them to...
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I've seen that a lot. It's very interesting to watch that dynamic play out after tournaments. It's always been fun, just from a distance.
A lot of sandbagging going on.
100%. Yeah. Or you'll hear, oh, well, I had some pretty good matches in the tournament, so I'm a little tired. The excuse train picks up steam, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm not 100%. It's this, So.
Yeah, so it looks like 13 guys in there. And they are down to 4.
Top 4, yeah.
Yeah, so Hyatt and Luke Kent will be first up. And then Chris Mowry and Vaz.
What's your order for the 4?
Man, I hate to say it because I'm rooting for my boy Dusty. But if I was a betting man, I'd go Luke Kent, Dustin Hyatt, Chris Mowry.
I think I'm on that same page there. As much as I'd love to see Dustin win because I know he's been putting a lot of work.
I'd be stoked.
It'd be impressive. And they're both on the A side, so technically...
Yeah, he's got a couple shots.
Yeah.
He's already beat Mowry.
Yeah.
In the bracket. Not that he guarantees that win, but I mean, that's a positive going in. Not that Vaz can't win that either. I
think that first match will be quick. In all honesty, I just feel with the speed of Luke and how he pulls, it's a bad match. I don't want to say a bad matchup, but it's a tough matchup for Dustin. But he'll learn a lot after that first match in how Luke pulls. So that second match will save him more. So I would say if he stops Luke at all, he's in a good place. Like, he's close.
Yeah.
But I would say with Luke's style, stopping him is going to be pretty tough.
Dustin's a beast. Did you see that Arm Wars?
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet. I saved it on my history on YouTube so I can watch it.
It's worth it, man. It's legit for sure.
I was glad to see he got the opportunity.
Yeah. He fought for it, man.
Yeah, he should. He's up and coming. He's still young.
Vaz has only lost to Luke Kent.
What, a new Arm Wars or?
Yeah, it was one that was just recently put out. So I can't remember who he pulled. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, I don't know those foreign guys.
I don't know those foreign guys. He says that every time we start talking about international arm wrestling. I don't know those foreign guys.
54s, Kevin Palko, Roman Gromov on the A side. But they split these up pretty good.
I need to subscribe to Kevin Palko's
Is Roman
channel.
154?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does he walk around 154?
60.
Yeah, he cuts a little.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, he's amazing.
That dude's a monster.
He's amazing.
He's a freak.
Yeah, Caleb Velasquez. Velasco, and
yeah,
he's in there with who? Matthew Smith.
he probably beat me left-handed.
Who's that?
154.
Roman?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
154. You know what I mean? I'm 300 plus, man.
He's
Dude's a monster. That's a monster, man.
he's one of those select few at those lower weight classes that can pull up and still dominate.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. I think him and Kevin will be a fun one to watch. They haven't pulled yet, right? They're both on A side.
Who?
Kevin and Roman.
Yeah. First up.
Nice.
So I think Roman kind of just top roll city, just kind of goes straight to the pad. I don't think he gets held up too much, that style wise.
I think Kevin needs to try to go up top and slip and get to the straps and hold on to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the play.
That's
I
your
think
best
Roman's
bet.
got too much, I think.
Load and try to hold on.
Well, I would not load at all and just
Really?
slip intentionally and then get in the straps
Right.
so he can't get away from you, and just get ready for the hit and just everything is just here. Just try to turn it in, which Roman is still incredible in the hook, but I think that's Kevin's best chance.
Yeah, I don't think Roman's going to try to go to the hook.
No, he's going to top roll. I mean, because he's longer, right, and he's going to have that up pressure and the back pressure.
He's just so freaking
He's
strong, man.
He's so nice. He's such
right.
you can't get mad at him if he beats you because he's so nice and he just smiles all the time. Always a smile on his face.
98, Eduardo Piete, and what is that? How do you say that? Elsevier?
Was it Brandon? Elsesser?
No. It starts with an X, his last name. Zariev.
Yeah, I can't even read the screen, dude.
He was at the Orange when I went down there, man.
I can't see it. I can't pronounce it.
He's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's old school, too.
I actually
Eduardo beat Merlo.
I had Merlo winning that.
Me, too. I say Merlo number one. I had Merlo Tiete.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Is Murzad still in it?
Is this guy?
I don't
no, he took fifth.
I think he
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh man, still though.
I think he got to pull Marcio Barboza though.
Yeah, he said he was in a match with him too.
Marcio?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Like he didn't
I
just
haven't
get
seen it.
blasted. He
I
said
haven't
he
seen
would
it.
got on his fingers and pressed him.
Nice.
But I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But he got through. So yeah, those are solid matches there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
242. Marcio and Pablo on the A side. So I mean, they
yeah.
split those up good. Those were what they
Is that
should
right-handed?
be, right?
Yeah.
Everything's right-handed.
Yeah.
So and then what do we got? We're to James Clark, Chris Gellings. Yeah, Gellings is solid, man.
Yeah.
Those were Mirzad's losses. Were Gellings and Barboza.
That's nothing to be upset about.
Yeah,
No.
no, especially in a class of what looks like 14.
That class is even deep.
So that's all right. Good job, Mirzad.
I never
he's
think
got a
about
match for strongest badge.
Does he?
Yep.
Against who?
Bo Olsen.
that. Who does?
Mirzad.
Mirzad's got his hands full.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Bo
And
Olsen's the gateway killer, man. So we'll see. He's walked through
guy is
everybody
a
we fed him so far.
Fucking freight train. I love Bo.
Yeah, Bo's
Always
my
will.
dude.
Always have his back. Unassuming strong. Like he's just a fucking freight train. Like that's how I would describe him on the table. A fucking freight train. And he continues just to get stronger.
Yeah,
He's
my
beaten
dude.
some notable people. Like like a Jordan Sill. He's beat Jordan Sill in a super match.
He's never lost to Jordan Sill, I don't think.
Beat Brent. Both arms, same day. Didn't take a loss in a super match. Like he gave Ron Bath fits in WAL. Like Ron didn't realize who he was, and Bo hit. Like it surprised Ron because Ron got to hear it and slipped. He's like, oh shit! And then they went to the straps, and Ron took off because he knew. He's like, I can't mess with this guy.
Yeah.
Because
It happens.
yeah, Bo is he's tough, very tough, very passionate too.
I know he's just trying to get the
Yeah, I
straps
love
on me
that
one day.
energy,
He's like,
man.
you got 100 pounds on me. I was like, I know who you are. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
He's slick.
I'm not giving you the straps.
Yep.
I don't care.
He's slick.
I know who you are.
Yeah, I think so. I'm assuming that's right-handed from Zod.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, his left's messed
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Somebody said something about his left. It was messed up. Yeah.
What's the weight?
242.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Best of 5.
I love Mirzad's such a nice guy. I don't want to say it's a sweep. I hope Mirzad can come out with a couple wins, but I don't know. Bo's got the experience. He's tough. When you give him that much time to get strong, of course, Mirzad's got the same time frame, so as long as he pushes, it should be good.
It's a good opportunity for Mirzad.
Yeah, very big, very big.
Cool for Bo to do it.
Well, if he comes out on top, I mean, that's a huge statement, at least in my eyes, because of who Bowles beat before.
It can happen, man.
Anything's possible.
Anything can happen. That's what I love about. That's what I love about sports. Period, though. Anything can happen.
I'm excited to see him have that opportunity for sure.
But Bo on a stage is just good to have.
Yes.
I reach out to him every year just to see, like, hey, I gotta ask, man. You want to be a part of this shit?
The intensity. Yeah.
Yeah. There's just you gotta love that shit. It's a good intensity.
He's got so much support too from his team. Yeah. Like all his guys support, which is great, and their team is huge.
Which means they'll roll down deep too. So
like us, yeah, good. They got a big team.
Yeah, and they practice a lot of their teammates practice weekly. Like it's consistent over there too. Like it's not like 5 or 6 guys. It's like 15 to 20.
They got Jake Houston coming in to take Palco right-handed, and Jake's not ranked now, but was ranked before he got sick. So people kind of forgot about him. But it's like, don't forget the dude's legit. So.
Yeah, I think Wallace Dilly and all them. He practices with all of them, don't he?
Or is he Psycho Arm Sports. It's Kansas City, but Eudora actually. That team will come down. There should be some good teams. I know Tennessee's coming up. Hopefully Indiana. Palco's coming, so Ohio. Yeah, I'd like to find something for Grant Pitcher at 55.
55?
Yeah, I wanted to do him and Palco but again, because they had that just war last time. But because Palco's pulling Houston, they're pulling it like 65 or something. So that Palco don't want to cut, I guess, coming down, like traveling. I don't know. They want to cut.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. At 54 that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't know who that would be.
I thought Cagle would be good, but he was talking about wanting a 72 guy too, or 76 guy, because he don't want to cut. These guys don't want to cut and travel, and I get it.
It sucks.
That's why 72 is better than 76, right? For some of them, than pull 72. Yeah. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, that you wouldn't think there'd be that much difference between 76 and 72, but those last 4 or 5 pounds, 6 pounds.
Yeah, it's a difference.
They are only 6 pounds, but it feels like 20 when you're trying to cut it.
That's why I like the 190, 210 better than 198, because I think there's a lot of guys in that range, and that really breaks it up good. Where at 98, they were generally 220-pound guys.
Yeah. Well, and if you bring enough...
If you were a true 198 guy, you were getting fucked.
If you put out enough money, you were seeing 225 guys come down to 195 for WL. So I think if you had enough money on the table...
I don't know how strict those scales were either, though.
They were pretty fucking strict, because I saw guys that were missing weight, like couldn't. Yeah. They weren't allowing them in. Yeah. Who else is on the card? You got other people set up yet, or are you just in talks?
I'm in talks because I want to, with certain people involved. Yeah, I don't want to mention anything if it's not set. I'm not that. I don't like putting shit out there. Yeah, I don't like putting it out there when it's not locked down, but yeah, I think it'll be good. What I really want is just I'd really like the teams to come in solid. I really want a good, because the way my team comp's set up is when you register, you just say you're with that team, right? You're registering with that team right there. You don't have to get a sheet and pick out your 10 guys and figure out who. You just register with your team. We're taking the best guys. It doesn't matter. And I mean, that mainly started with I don't want the tournament to end, and then I'm going through all these sheets trying to figure out points, dude. That was a fucking
trying to add shit up.
It's like, get the fuck out of here. I got a computer do everything else, and I'm over here with a freaking pencil trying to figure out. No, I didn't even get to see the left-hand supers on that the sheet that they showed. It had everything but the left-hand supers. Was it just me? What sheet? For Kansas City. The brackets got fucked, remember? They sent them on Facebook, though, and they fixed it and all? Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't send the brackets. I think he just said the top.
Yeah, probably just fixed.
I think I took fourth right-handed, and then I didn't get to see if I took third or not left-handed. They didn't even have third place prizes, bro.
I'd have to look on Facebook. Brian posted them. I think the top 4 or 5.
It should have been a dagger or some shit for third place. Dude.
There was nothing for third place. The finances weren't right.
Oh.
They told me. I was like, "What's up with third place?" They're like, "Third place don't get prizes." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, let me see real quick.
It happens, man. People don't realize how expensive them goddamn tournaments get, man.
Oh, I completely understand. That's why whenever I see them daggers and stuff, I'm just like, I'm excited for it, but I'm like, I just hope that everybody makes out okay, you know?
So you were in supers left and right, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see supers right. Dilly, Leclerc, Louise, I think is how you pronounce his first name. I don't see a supers left listed. So maybe you didn't post it.
I see, but they have left and right of every other class. Did you see it on there?
Yeah, I didn't.
I think they accidentally missed it or something. It's like...
Yeah, so the supers right are on
it's
there.
It's the one class I want to see, too. We and him were talking about it there. We're like, we didn't get to see it there. We're like, shit, man. I think it's left hand, too. It's like, did I place third left?
Yeah.
I think they might be coming down, too, or coming over, I guess.
Who's that?
They're Kansas. Like the jerky guys, Gagnabin, Leclerc.
Wallace.
Is Wallace
Dilly?
from there?
Kansas City?
Kansas.
I think he's from
more
Iowa or Ohio.
I don't think he's with that team though.
I think both of you guys are wrong. I think he's in Nebraska.
Nebraska, yes. Yeah. I'm way off.
That team would be good. That team
seems
would
so
be good.
far away. How close is Nebraska?
I thought the Rockies would be a little rockier than this. That John Denver's full of shit.
No, they're Kansas with the jerky and the Gun Bros or whatever.
How close is Nebraska? Okay.
But if they come, that's a good team too, man. That really strengthens up that supers with
just after pulling his little brother, man. I'm like, whew. I mean, me and Wallace was doing a lot of after pulling. He was there with us, but I got up to the younger brother of them too, and I'm like, whoo, man, that guy was strong as heck, super strong. Him and you know who else? Stephen Longston. That kid is fucking strong, dude.
So his dad, Bill, has been pulling for a long time.
Yeah. His dad showed me a couple things on after polls. He showed me how to stop a press.
Yeah.
Got to take that shit in, man. Yeah. Got to. But as we were leaving, they set the tables up outside. Well, when they did, I just wanted to see how strong his son was. I've seen him pull a bunch.
Yeah.
Amazing puller. You expect that from his genetics. It's like, I'm like, but actually gripping up with him.
Mm-hmm.
I tip my hat to the kid, man. The kid is strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how fresh I was. I felt good.
Yeah.
No,
he felt better.
He's good. Yeah.
He's real smart on the table. Like he knows the angle it needs to be at. So no matter where you're going, he'll just readjust.
He said something crazy too. Like he does like 1,000 with 40 pounds.
Pronation.
1,000 pronation.
I believe it.
A day.
I believe it.
Oh, most definitely. I believe it with kids like that, man. They're born into the sport. Like they especially after feeling him. How do you not believe it?
Well, his sister's good too. She's pulled a little bit.
Yeah.
And she in the women's class, and Bill's daughter, she's really good. Yeah. They've always been very talented. And Bill's been, incredible throughout his career as well.
Definitely has some IQ he could teach.
I think I'm 0-4 against him in tournaments.
I'll try to see if
I'm going to get him, though. You mark my word.
He's been taking some time off.
I'm going to turn him in one of these times.
Is he coming back, or did he say he was or wasn't? He's kind of easing it or not. I don't remember exactly what he said, so I don't want to put words in his mouth when I seen him at the tournament. But
who?
Bill.
Yeah, Bill's tried, I think.
But he said he took some time off.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, he comes back and he's training. He's tough.
Who'd be a good match for Steve?
At 210?
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this before, at least right-handed. Left-handed, I don't know.
Steve who?
Logsdon.
From us?
I'd have to look at the rankings, give you an
210?
What about Eli?
He's too heavy, right? He's in.
How much is Brent?
Eli Broward.
Oh, he's 210? Yeah. I was thinking he was 220, 230. Left-handed, that would be interesting.
I was thinking right, but I mean, I guess either one.
Isn't Eli's better hand left-handed, though?
Right-handed, Eli's ranked 13th, and Steven Logsdon is down at 18 in the mentions. Actually, Eli's ahead of him, righty. So I'm not sure it's great for Eli.
Help an old guy out and increase that font a little bit, huh?
Maybe. Let's see.
Yeah, now we're talking. It's big enough. It's almost Braille on the screen.
That's Lefty.
Lefty.
Or could I go over here? Could you still see it back here?
Yeah,
I can. Yeah.
So it's in your lap now. It's big enough. No, I would say 210 right-handed. Or we'll go left-handed first since it's on the screen. Steven and AJ Henson would be very interesting. Actually, if you're looking for a strap match that would be entertaining, Steven against Dallas Langston. Because they both would go the strap.
I don't know if I could get Langston here, and if I could, it wouldn't be to take on somebody lower than him.
Right.
So that's why I said Brent earlier. I'm like, who's a...
Did you see he's coming up on Naked and Afraid? Dallas Langston?
Mm-mm.
Did you see that? Yeah, he's on that
on
show.
There?
So
Nice.
at the end of the month, it's the premiere is like the 25th of this month.
That's awesome.
What?
He's
What's
on
going
that show. Yeah,
Who is?
The guy from
Dallas
Armwrestling.
Langston.
Yeah, a guy that's ranked.
He did the show Naked and Afraid, and it's airing at the end of this month. It starts. I've never watched that show, but I think that's cool. That
Yeah, I think I'm going to watch
he's
it
in
now just because I have watched it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to watch
Yeah.
it again.
So that's pretty cool, man.
I want to see if he cried 5 or 10 days in, you know? No negative stuff. I'm just saying, like, you see a lot of people fold on that show. It's like,
Yeah.
Pablo's coming, so I could get somebody for Pablo. He'll take on somebody.
And he's 242, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be 230 there probably. Here's the thing. So
wow,
the super
Michael
matches
Johnson.
get shaky a little bit, right? Because the weigh-ins for the tournament are like 2 hours. Start 2 hours before the matches. So the matches, it's up to them what they weigh. But if they're in the tournament, I
Right.
mean, they got to weigh in for the tournament. So
Do they have the opportunity to weigh in the day before if they come early?
not for the
Why is-
tournament.
No, I mean for the super matches.
That's up to the super match people, like what they want to decide, right?
That's
Like,
what I would do.
if they want to say, hey, but here's the thing, like they still have to make 230 in the tournament, right?
Right. So technically, I
Why
mean,
not even make
but
weight?
what I'm saying is can they show up Thursday?
If they both agreed that they wanted to do that, but why?
But what I'm saying is if hypothetically they show up for 230 and they're only pulling one arm in the super match, right?
Right.
And so would you allow them that weight at the Thursday weigh-in
For the
to pull
tournament?
Yeah,
No.
Saturday.
No.
They would have to re-weigh in
Yeah.
the day of the
It's not
tournament.
fair to the other people in the tournament.
That's true. So they technically could make weight the next day, though, the next evening, because you're going to have early weigh-ins on Friday.
Yeah, but I would say just decide that you're not going to make weight. Or you're going to make 240, or, you know, like maybe they just don't pull 230 in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to cut, or they both pull after they cut. But I mean, it does cause an issue, I guess, right? But oh well, that's a super match.
No, I get it. Yeah. I mean,
but I can't. I thought about it. If I did it early, though, now you got guys get to weigh in 2 days early for a tournament, and why? Just because they're pulling, and
that's why I
puts them
asked.
at a
'Cause
disadvantage.
I'm
yeah.
surprised you haven't even gotten that question yet, because that's
I did from handling, I think, right
He's a
away.
smart man, yeah.
Right away asked, but I was like, no, right away. Like, no.
Josh is smart. He knows how to figure that out. I would say left-handed Steven and Max would be interesting because Max is pulling up a weight a little bit. He's now been in that weight class for a while, but coming up from the 190 class, I think that would be a fun match to watch. Plus, Max can make the drive in 8 hours down, and then bring the rest of the crew from Minnesota. I just like AJ Henson, the way he pulls, his demeanor on the table.
Yeah,
so.
but Corey's got his tournament the week after, so
Gotcha.
AJ will be up there for sure. So you got to cut anybody on the West probably out because
yeah,
they'll go to that one.
Yeah, I don't know right-handed though.
I mean,
Unless
I
it's
guess we're gonna
left-handed.
see. Let's see how Marcio and Pablo play out
Yeah.
at Arnold's. Maybe I can redo it if like it's close and they turn in something. Maybe I can get Marcio out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see him come out because he's coming out from New Jersey or New York. So
What's right-handed, Bill?
Because it was going to be Brita, but they're doing that now in Mississippi. On the 18th, the one I'm going down to.
Yeah.
Here you go. The right-handed heavies.
Right-handed.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Brent and Chad Silvers pull, but you'd have to pay to get Chad here.
Yeah, and it's not cheap. I talked to him.
So that match with Michael Todd, is that technically a loss when he pulls his bicep?
Which one? Who'd he lose to?
Yeah, well, no, he won when he pulled his bicep.
Yeah, he got him to the pad.
Did he?
He tore it.
Wow.
He tore it at the pad.
Yeah.
So he technically won, but then he obviously had to pull out the rest of the matches.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Now, so the rest of the matches, I would assume they count as losses on airs.
They should, because he
Right.
can't finish, and
Right.
as long as the other guy gets to the table, I mean.
But I don't know.
Brent and Brandon would be interesting. Brandon travels.
Yeah, Brandon's got all the big. I think I reached out to him too, and he's got the big shows hitting him up now.
Yeah,
so you got to worry about those schedules with the.
I think he's on the
guys
radar.
that pay real money.
Yeah, I think he's on Ingen's radar.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in my opinion, Brent should be too. Any of those guys in the top 5 or 6 should be.
Well, Brent's got Mosier at the Monster Factory in May.
That's coming up then, yeah.
I think it's May.
Ooh.
So
What's
that's
that best
big for
of?
him. 5, I think.
That's going to be close. Very, very close.
So then it's like, that's a weird one. So theoretically, let's say Brent beats Dan, right?
Yep.
And
So
right
he's-
now you got Dan, Adam, Brandon, Chad, Roger. Brent's in 6th. Do you think Brent they put him in 1st because he just beat the number 1 guy when Adam just fucking dog walked him? Or does Adam go number 1?
I think that depends on how the group that does the rankings decides, right? So do you consider
everybody? It averages out. So
the reason I asked is because what if the score of the super match is 3-2, like very close, and the guy that wins on a foul, or the other something off the wall? Does that definitively give that guy the spot because he beat the number 1 guy, or does how the matches play out matter more, and you slide him in at 2 or 3 because it was so close? Like I don't know how the crew does that.
No, so everybody does it their own way, and then those lists gets averaged out.
So it can be subjective then.
It is completely right. So
Okay.
you would do it how you thought was correct. They would do it. They would do it. They would do it, and then the list just get put together.
So I would look at it from a statistical point of view or an analytical side. So because he beat him, I would give him the number 1 and just say that's it. But then you run into an issue. So what happens if hypothetically?
So Adam's now number 3, but he just smashed Brent. But it was 9 months ago or something. But still,
right.
If it's that easy of something to accomplish, though, then you just easily take that spot back.
Right, and so
that's the way I see it. Like you take that spot, You
there's
win,
no answer. I was just curious.
No, I feel. I mean, that's the way I feel. Like you win, you take that spot, and then if it's that easy to get, then you'll take it back.
Yeah,
no problem.
I think what you run into, because if you look at it subjective, you have to figure out how the super match plays out. What's the score? How was it won? Whereas if you just say if he wins no matter what the score, he gets it, you take all the subjectiveness out of it, in my opinion. But what you run into is if you're at a big tournament and say the number 10 guy beats the number 1 guy, but doesn't win the tournament, right? What does that mean? He didn't win the class, but he beat somebody ahead of him. Do you get to move him up in front of everybody else? Or does he just gradually move up the list? Right? So, say number 11, AJ Henson beats Daniel Mosier in a tournament, but then turnarounds and loses to somebody else that's ranked behind him. How do you figure that out?
That dude takes your spot.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is that dude just took your spot, and if it's that
always
easy to gain, you got to just take it back from that guy. You know what I mean? Like it's not a hard. I think people make it harder than what it has to be. Yeah. But if it was in any other sport, that's how it would go. You know, I feel like
if you do it linear like that,
it's an upset. You lose. You take your upset. You take your position. You take your. You just went from 1st to 10th. That's fine.
It's a stupid amount of changes,
no
man.
problem. You know, that's the way I look at it.
It's a very volatile system.
Yeah.
Right. It's just volatile as fuck. And if you did it the way where, like, in the hook, where if you're off the list, you got to start back at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Oh, they literally have a list of just the hook.
No, so it's called In the Hook rankings. They've had them around since like mid 2000s, late to like 2010ish.
It's the North American rankings.
So it's Canada and U.S.
Okay.
And like there, as you drop off for inactivity, and you have to like work your way through the list. I don't think if you hypothetically are at the bottom of the list and beat number 1, I don't think they automatically put you up there. I think that you bump up in spots based on how you do, but they don't.
No, you would go.
Do they? I didn't think they did. I always thought you had to work up. But.
I mean, if you want to do any other kind of technical or anything like that, just run a point system. That way, you place how you place.
Oh,
in
that's
the
what
tournament.
theirs is.
Yeah.
You place how you place in the tournament, and then where your points sit is where you sit. Simple.
That's where ours is.
But the problem with that is, though, in my opinion, take it with a grain of salt.
No.
A point system is great if you have all the analytical data from point A on through. But hypothetically, if you don't have all the data from all the tournaments from point A, you're missing points. Not at your fault, but because you just don't have that data, right?
Yeah.
And
So
also,
it's not correct at all.
And then also it favors the people not necessarily that are better, but the people that pull more, right?
Exactly.
So you might win against a bunch of people that aren't ranked a lot, and lose to people that aren't or are ranked better, but because you show up more, you're ranked higher, right?
Yep. Not because of who's better.
Correct. Which hypothetically you're supposed to get more points for wins, but like I said, if you stay on a local level and just beat your Joe Schmoes around here, does that really make you rank that high? Because you haven't beat anybody else that's technically ranked, right? So I don't know. It's interesting if you have all the information, and it is. I've looked at it before. I think once you kind of filter it and like keep running with it with points, it'll get more accurate. But right now, I think it's just kind of iffy.
Yeah, they need the info.
Yeah, and I mean that falls on the promoters to get them that, right? So
yeah, I mean we talked about it. I remember him asking, and I thought it would be a great tool for the committee.
Yeah,
but I didn't think it would ever be accurate because you just can't get everything.
No,
right? And even when you do, you can't. Arm wrestling's not black and white like chess is, so you can't just ELO it because you don't have all the information. What about when Michael Todd busts his bicep in the middle of that? Now, if he would have lost that match where he busted his bicep, that should count.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that the next 2 losses in that tournament should count.
Correct.
He didn't pull.
Right, and if you didn't see or know what happened, you're just looking at the results.
Oh, he beat him. Yeah,
somebody beat Michael Todd.
And then the 2 guys that are listed with him, now they're just going to get the wins over this guy that's got a shit ton of points.
Yeah.
But now you got to. There's no way to.
I just try to keep it as simple as possible. I guess I'm just trying to simplify it.
But if they go in and change that, now you're selectively modifying, and that's even more throwing shit off.
Yeah,
right? And it's
hard
tricky, man. It's very tricky. They're all tricky.
It's like, what are they really running it off of?
I tell you what, though, for that airs, the like where it's listed out and where you could view all that information.
Yeah,
that's helpful as fuck.
Yeah, I like that where you can pull up the tournaments and see how they did.
Because they could go back then and say, well, this guy did beat this guy, or it shows here. They don't necessarily, because again, he could have busted something, but in general, you're like, well, this tournament, you can at least place the guys with the tournament somewhere.
Right.
Right. And that's pretty fucking cool. So I'm with it, man.
Over the course of time, it'll get more accurate because you're going to get more data. So the longer.
What do you think the ultimate goal is for them? What is the ultimate goal? Is it to sell the program? Is it to centralize the arm wrestlers? Are they going to start just charging?
I don't know.
To put the points in? What? There's got to be an ultimate goal. It can't just be for nothing.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the ultimate goal would be on that. Obviously, it's going to be one of those ventures where you're going to have to continue with it for some time to get, a window of data in there that isn't just a short period, because it's not going to be worth anything if you're only focusing on like a year. So I don't know what the ultimate goal would be with that. It's an interesting concept that I thought was, will be fun to watch play out and see where it goes. Once it's got a lot more tournaments involved.
I mean, they got a ton.
Yeah, they do have a bunch. So I think I looked on mine, and there was tournaments clear back from like 2014 or 15. which is, I mean, obviously quite some time ago.
337 tournaments.
Yeah.
63,000 matches.
I'm assuming they're utilizing like Excel or something like that to keep all this housed in one location.
Yeah, I would assume that's what his program runs on.
Is it?
So they do have this Airs Super Series bracket pool entry.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, can they make money off that?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, so you pay so
We
much.
talked about that. How could you come up with some way to gamble on it? I did think that, and Bob Brown, I believe, was pushing this. So whether he's involved or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he used to do, and I think it was at that Brazink tournament, but he used to do something that was like, God damn, I can't remember the name. It might come to me. But like, you would basically bid on the athlete, the pullers.
Who's going to win, right?
You would just bid on the pullers.
Oh.
And then the pot went to the winner.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But the pot, I mean, it would depend. So you could get, like, if we were all in a tournament right now, you could get me for $1, but it might cost $300 to get you and $150 to get him. But if you paid $1 for me, you could win $700.
I like that concept. So it's like odds. Like it's just odds.
It's odds based on how much somebody wanted to pay for you to get in. But all the money goes into a pot. Now, I don't remember the name. It's coming. It's close. It's on the tip of my tongue right now. Because there is like a name that he was using.
I like
almost
that.
like racehorses.
Yeah, 100%. So depending on the ability of the said person or animal in that case, it's less entry, higher payout, but the odds are against you because the chances of winning are less, right? So it's the same thing with like betting on sports.
More pay.
To me, that's the fairest way to go because what the fuck can happen, right?
Yeah.
Anything can happen, but hell, you paid for it if so.
That's my gripe with arm bets, is because they don't have staggered odds really. It's essentially like who's going to win the super match, or it's a shutout stake. There's really no odds where like you get a lot more. Like obviously there's a percentage higher if this person wins versus this person, but it's capped at like 30%. I think is the highest you can win off your bet, right? So if they did like an odd situation like that, I think it would take off, especially if you have it in like app form where you can like jump on and say, okay, these tournaments are running right now. You can pick these guys to win, this tournament here, this tournament there, all in the same day. Like say there's 5 tournaments in different states running. You can parlay your bets like you do in normal betting. So like this guy will win this class, this guy will win that class, this guy will win that class. So you can bet $25 win 300. I think that would take off. If it's in app form, like anything less, and I don't think.
I don't know how you'd pull that though. Now it's not the same then.
It is. It's the same thing as regular betting, right? You have odds.
Yeah, that's odds.
Or you
that's
can bet
different
parlays.
than the other concept.
So the best thing, playing parlays are harder because everybody has to win on your parlay to make for you to earn money, right?
Yeah, but then you just got a book. There's a bank, and you're just paying out your odds and paying out the bank.
Correct. But if you're the one, like say they decide to start doing it that way, the odds are in favor of the person that's housing the money, right? Whoever's running it, because you set the odds to give you a slight advantage versus the bettor, right?
I don't know what they're doing. Do you know? I never looked at it.
I looked at it a little bit. So you basically pay to be able to pick these people who's going to win which round and if it goes to the strap. So then I think you win based on the total amount of points.
You're taking 10%.
Yeah. So total amount of points, whoever has the most wins. So you have to pick each round if it goes to the straps. And then I think there's a tiebreaker at the bottom too. So essentially if 2 people have the same amount of points, there's a tiebreaker at the bottom. I don't remember what it is. I just glanced over it.
You get to choose if they go to a strap?
Yes. And you can do it by round as well. So if 2 top rollers are pulling each other, chances are they're going to go to the strap.
And these are all at this match, the tournament after mine, right? He puts it on it, yeah.
Yep. And I don't, like I said, the tiebreaker the tiebreaker one that you bet on was interesting.
It's all right. It's all West Coast. I'll still do all right.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a March Madness setup. You're trying to get as many points as possible.
So Jamie and Bob Brown
That's interesting.
Bob Brown looked jacked in
Yeah.
that video, so I don't know, man. But Jamie Sheldon's big too.
He really surprised me when he pulled Bill Logston and beat him.
What, do they got a weight class in that one? I don't know.
I don't know. I think there's a cap. I don't know what it is. Probably 200, 210.
I don't know who Dustin Pulls or Louis Alicorn is.
Yeah, I don't.
AJ Hinch and Ronnie Morales.
I think Ronnie is from California.
Yeah.
Or maybe Phoenix.
One of the right hand. That's still, and left hand.
Both.
Yeah.
That's tough in the same day. I couldn't imagine pulling super matches, one with each arm. Like that would, I couldn't do it.
Corey Johnston, Luke Pulsar is interesting.
Yeah.
I have to give that to Luke. Roger, Tim Talmaz, Roger Cangingham.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, he should.
I don't know if that's kind of a mismatch in my opinion.
Tim will take on anybody. He don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rogers is very
Sarah
very
Latona, Sarah LaFond. I like Sarah LaFond. I don't know Latona. We're rooting for LaFond. My girl.
I don't know either one of them to be 100%.
Frank Callahan, Isaac Russell. I don't know them guys.
Mm-mm.
And then there's longest match.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So who's got the stopwatch?
I don't know. Somebody's obviously going to sit there during that match.
See,
it's just one match though, right?
What if they forget on this? Oh, is it?
Yeah,
no,
I think
it's longest match. Well, there's 4 of them. You did your betting on.
Okay. Well, so then you only have to focus on those, right? You don't have to focus on every
the whole
match.
fucking match, or like longest match from go to win called. Okay, so
go to win, yeah.
But that's every match with those 4. They got to be. You got to trust that guy. I don't know, man.
I think it's a cool concept.
It's a cool concept, but as a gambler, I'm like, I'm iffy as shit because there's so much like, it's just not locked down good enough for me to know that. I'm solid on a bet. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think once
I like the whatever the fuck he. God damn, that was right there on my tongue, right there. The name of that
Bob Brown's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard about it. To be honest with you, he's got a pretty good YouTube channel too. Very informative.
That's cool though. Hopefully they do good. I can't do it.
Can't do it.
I would like to have my shit on there though. I could bet on my people.
You're on there, I'm sure.
My tournament?
No. Well, yeah, I'm sure your tournament is, but as a puller too.
As a bet. Oh yeah, I'm sure yeah.
You're probably honestly ranked higher than me in every class possible.
Oh no.
Because you have more.
Oh, right-handed maybe.
100% right-handed, left-handed too, I would assume.
Yeah, no, I get beat all the time.
I get beat all the time.
Yeah.
Nah, you win.
Yeah, I do.
Or else you wouldn't show up. If you lost every time, you'd never come back.
No, but I get closer to guys.
Unless you're a weirdo like me and get capped 4 times in a row at 2 tournaments.
Let's
and you're
see.
Like, wait a minute.
Just fucking see.
Well, let me jump back in this. 100%.
Bill Schumer.
Yours is probably really good on here now too.
What's that?
So it's a points-based system based on wins
a lot of shit.
in your class.
Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm in 17 classes.
Right, left, masters, amateurs, and pros.
Yeah, and a lot of weights.
When
all the way up to supers.
When did you pull 242?
Yeah, I pull in the masters a lot. Like supers.
Oh, amateurs.
What is that?
So it tallies up all the promoters' results in matches. So they take the brackets, and then it's on a points-based system per class, right? So the more wins you have, the higher ranking you should technically be.
And it knows this already?
Yeah. So he's got a formula set up. So you put the results in, and it spits out like a specific point for your class, right? So
the left pro 176. I'm 0-6. That's why I quit cutting. I was like, all right.
He's that fucking goose egg. I'm done.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna cut weight and get my ass kicked, I'll just eat and get my ass kicked. Shit.
Why am I starving Marvin over here and getting whipped when I could just be fat and sassy? And
left master 76 though. I'm 2-0.
Yeah, there you go.
So like when I do cut, it's good for the old guys. They can't handle me at that weight.
He's like, I'm whipping up on the old heads.
Left amateur, left amateur 76. I'm 3-6. So see, my left hand is better somehow, but that's because I don't know why. Weird. Right amateur, I'm 8-7.
There you go. That's your class for sure.
My rating's 15-10. Right pro, 76. I'm 6-6.
There you go. See?
But I'm under 1500. I'm 1490. Left pro, 98. I'm 3-18. They're big, man. They start getting big up there. My left's not that good, but I'm a 1342. 21 matches though. Left masters 98. I'm 4-27.
Them old guys.
How does it know all this?
Because so
They take all the brackets. That's why they want all. He wants all the brackets. So
they take the brackets and they do every single match, and then it adds up so much for wins, so much for losses. And
I wonder how far back they go from it.
Hey, as long as if they're sending in brackets, they're
Never
getting
get a chance to check mine, brother.
Yeah, I will. I got to get through these million matches I do, I guess. Pro, I'm 11-16 at 98. That's not horrible, right? 1442.
No, that's
right. Masters 98. I'm 16-28. Left amateur 98, 5-6. Right amateur 98. I'm 3-5.
So if you put all those together, you're about 500. You're right at 500.
Looks like I'm way under, right?
Now, if you put them all together, add them all up.
1-2, 0-2, 0-2, 1-2. I'm 3-2 in right masters supers.
Beating up on the old heavy guys. Old heavy.
One of them's Tony Piccoli.
Really?
Piccoli?
Piccoli?
That was a big win for me.
Good. That's
He's tough. Yeah. And he was heavy that day, I remember. Left masters, I'm 3-10 in the supers.
Yeah. You can turn all those around.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say maybe like a 450 total. I don't know. But that's a lot of matches, right? What, 6, 2, 8, 17, 20, 30, 45?
What's the oldest tournament they have on there for you?
Oh, damn. Do they have that list?
Yeah, so if you... I can't remember how to do
click
it.
On a card
you click on... Yeah, so you click on a heading.
One.
Yeah, and it'll tell you where it was from.
2020, 2019.
I would say your amateurs are probably your older ones. So look at those. 18.
2016, Missouri State. 0-2. I lost against Isaiah Malin twice.
Yeah, so 2016 for him. And I think mine was 2015-ish.
No, I should have a...
Another one?
Well, you know what? That 2015 tournament was a WAL tournament that was ran by Stephen Green, and then they wouldn't have the brackets, so those won't be in there. That was my only 15 tournament, because after that was at the end of 15, and then my number 2 tournament was February of 16.
Are you sure that wasn't in there? Check my name. I think there was a WAL tournament in there. I'm pretty sure I saw. I could be wrong. It could
just not that one, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it could have been another tournament in 16. I'm thinking, or 15. I'm thinking of. I don't know.
For what?
So
well, you don't have much. So.
No, I mean I've been in the. Left. How does it not have left?
You don't have no 76 because see, they don't have none of that old shit.
That was the highest I was ever ranked.
You got strongest badge in Missouri State 21 is all they got for you.
Yeah, that's when I went over.
Yeah, so that's all they got.
That's horse shit. Look at left amateur 98. I'm curious to see what they have for there.
215. Missouri State. Kerner twice. And Bennett.
I beat him twice.
Scott Bennett. Yeah, you went 3-0.
Hell yeah.
Out of a class size of 3.
That wasn't amateurs though. What year was it?
2015.
Yeah, I wasn't pulling amateurs then. That was the year I won 76, 98, and 242 maybe.
You beat Jared Cook twice and Oscar Anderson in 2018.
Yeah.
Missouri State.
That tournament, the left amateur one though, I think I won like 2 classes, and I was pulling pros, so there's no way I was in amateur class.
Beat Josh Jordan twice in 215. You beat Pat Barry and Don Reno twice. You lost against Brent twice in 2018.
My losses aren't bad though, I don't think.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna have to look at that and see what the looks like.
So
But
they're
yeah,
not all correct, but they're there, right?
fuck
So
no,
it's
I
not
wasn't
bad.
pulling amateurs in 15. I was ranked in the 176 class that year. That's a little off.
Oh, Mike's a 1631 left amateurs.
Get him
11-0.
doing big things. Look at him.
Right pro 2620. Left pro 1516.
Yeah, we can send you the link to this. You can look it up.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it shows you the tournaments, who you beat.
26-20, what's that mean?
26 wins, 20 losses.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
What?
so it's like almost like
Yeah, that's
keeping
pretty
like
good
a
in the
percentage
supers,
for like
man.
50%.
Mm-hmm. That's what I look at overall, like your wins, the losses.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how's that look? Yeah.
so
Yeah,
what-
I'm a
what does
little
that
over
put
actually.
you?
66 wins. It's 53% probably.
Whoa, let's see where it puts you on the list. I didn't look to see what your number
That's
was.
crazy. So whenever I go up to a bat, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're number 45.
Illinois crushed it. Kansas City got whipped.
Yeah.
You're number 45 on airs in the super.
On errors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the ranking system in the top. Well, they show a bunch of people on there. So.
No, that's legit because the guys above you, I mean, Josh Heck, Robbie Burnett, Kevin Butts,
Yeah.
Tony Tomlinson. I mean, those are legit dudes. Corey Bresnan, Nick Stone.
Yeah.
Just to even be up there close to them guys, man, is an honor, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But don't think I'm not coming.
There you go.
You know?
That'd be so far off. Let's
To
see.
tell Bill, or ask Bill what I tell him about every 3 or 4 weeks. I'll send him a message. I'm coming.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be pretty when I get there, too.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I don't even make them.
Oh, I had to scroll for days just to find my name.
I needed both of those last tournaments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I needed Illinois to show me show me who I am, and I needed Kansas City to show me what I need to do.
Yeah. So to me, they motivate you in different ways, right?
Most
Like one's
definitely.
motivating you to show you where you can be. The other one's motivating you to say, hey, I still got to work.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. Which I think is great because you have both ends of the spectrum. You know where you can be and where you don't want to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really shown me that. That's all I was wanting to see too. So
Yeah.
I was like, I need this next tournament.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything different. I came to my practices and all that.
That's the hardest part.
I needed another tournament.
The consistency is
Yeah.
the hardest part
291st. Not bad.
for you.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I thought you was talking about for me. I was like, what do you mean?
You're definitely ranked the highest out of any of us sitting
31st,
here.
that's not that bad at all. I'll take it.
Hey, I'm ahead of Pablo's kid at least.
Pablo's
What's that, left-handed?
right, open right, 176.
Only 2 slots behind Billy Boo. He's a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I should probably get him the old strongest badge brackets. I got them on paper. Just a pain in my ass.
I still think it's great that my best class ever
Oh,
pulled
there's
in
Mirzad.
was 176 left, and I don't have any results for it.
Yeah, because that's another thing I was like thinking whenever he was pulling this up. It's like, what do they have on there though? So this is just
It tells you though too,
Oh,
so you
that's
can see
awesome.
what tournaments are on there, and you know what's missing.
So you know what's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they try to get everybody's shit and whatnot. So
Yeah. Which it's going to be almost impossible to get everybody's stuff because you have your local mom and pop tournaments to huge tournaments, right? So, yeah.
yeah, but it's still interesting. Interesting to look at. What else we got?
What's on the agenda for the evening? What do you want to talk about? So we talked about rankings a little bit. Talked about some of the local guys that have been doing really great.
We got Caleb Velasco and Mirzad in the chat finally. Somebody here.
Yeah.
Mirzad just had a good match with Marcio, he says.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
It's awesome. Congratulations,
Caleb's
brother.
still top 4, so he's in it for tomorrow.
Yep.
That's legit.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Mirzad keep progressing. He's got a high ceiling, so. And it's,
Young.
Yeah.
Young buck.
The last time we were in here with him, he was talking about his goals, and I'm like, God damn, you're young. You don't need to have those type of goals yet.
Oh, man.
He's driven. I'll give him that.
Deep's in the house, too. What's up? Mirzad, got anything to say about your match with Bo?
Sorry, Bo.
No, you're good, man. What do you got?
Oh, no, I was just saying I'm excited about it, too, how young Mirzad is.
Yeah. Wish I could go back to that age.
I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want that man. I was like, when I was 17, whew,
Yeah.
I remember the strength I had when I was 17.
Yeah.
And it's not the strength I have now.
It's the drive, right?
I have manly
it's
strength
fucking drive,
now,
man.
Maybe my hands are stronger now, but I think when I was a kid, my
motivation and drive and shit.
Yeah, my body was. I can remember taking S10s, Isuzus, any of those kind of trucks.
Yeah.
And just taking the whole. I can lift the whole ass end of them up. And just,
I would, at this point in my life versus where I would have been 17, 18, 19, my 17, 18, 19-year-old self couldn't touch this version. It wouldn't even be close.
See, and I bet, see, with me, it's like a little bit of training of my 17-year-old self. Ooh.
Yeah, nah. I was more stronger back then in my legs because I was a pitcher. So I needed that drive off the mound. And my upper body, I wasn't trying to get huge. I was looking for flexibility and stamina. So, I mean,
definitely.
Coming out of high school, I was deadlifting over 455. I think it was closer to 500. But I couldn't bench. I could do like 225 like 5 times. Like it wasn't anything. Like my upper body wasn't shit. So
that's good for your weight, though.
Yeah,
that's really good for your weight.
Yeah, I was always stronger in my legs, and that's what killed me when I first started arm wrestling because my fucking legs were so big. I had to lose more weight because I was like, God damn, my legs are thick.
Built them legs.
And you see all these arm wrestlers walking around with fucking legs that look like that, and then they just Y out. You know, I was the opposite.
So I got a buddy that he's I guess he does fences and stuff, but he's getting older.
Yeah.
And we used to do this golf tournament for a fundraiser for one of our friends, and he was there, and I put on this like little tournament as a fundraiser. I was giving away something to do a little tournament, and it's pretty fucking good. Well, he hits me up just a couple days ago. He's like, "Hey man, you still doing the arm wrestling thing? I got this guy, man. He's fucking ox. He's just like, you know, I think I'm pretty good sometimes. He just pins me like a schoolgirl." You know, he was saying he fucking deadlifts 700, squats 700, benches 500. Just a fucking monster. I'm like, yeah, well, we train on, Sundays, Thursdays. He says he don't need to train him, man. He just comes smash people and shit. Like, all right, well, I gave him the
man.
I gave him the brewski shit, and I'm like, here you go. I'm like, and then I gave mine. I'm like, this one's really big, man. I'll hook you up with a good table. You come down and get him in this one, but he should train up. Be good to get him on a team.
I think he should definitely have some kind of training.
Yeah. He
doesn't need to be going up there and being ripped on. I don't care how strong you are.
Yeah. It's a whole different world.
Oh, I know. But they,
What size is he? How big?
250.
And you said
he's super heavy.
So he builds fences?
Possibly. No. This is his buddy. No, the guy that builds fences is like probably 180 or something.
So the 250 guy doesn't build fences?
It's his buddy. Okay. Yeah, no, this guy's I don't know what he does.
Here's the thing, though. Just get on YouTube and look it up, though. Like, you see people all the time, like the little...
Oh, he does.
170-pound arm wrestler.
That's what I'm saying. The dude that's sending them to me... like
bodybuilders. And
he doesn't arm wrestle or nothing, but he was legit still. He was decent, you know, for not knowing what he was doing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to meeting people like that, though, man.
But, yeah, having a guy that's putting that kind of weight, it's like you coming up. He was strong as shit coming in, didn't know shit.
Could be like a more
you could turn him into it real quick.
Schwarzkopf.
That's why I wish come on the team at least. Let's get a couple in. But the fucked up thing is I'm not going to be at Brewski's to snatch him up and get him on the team from there when whatever. So you guys are going to have to grab him. He'll probably be pulling.
Yeah.
Well, he'd be amateur, so.
Well, I hope he won't do what I did and pull both the very first tournament. Never even been on a table.
I mean, if he's already like, I don't need to train, I could see him like, I'm not doing amateurs.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That was my mindset. I was just gym strong. I'm like, why the hell would I just pull amateurs? I pulled both and fucking whacked. Just whacked. Like, we're talking ass out away from the table, peg hand on the table.
I already know.
Just like, oh, this isn't that bad. And all of a sudden it's like, what happened?
Yeah. Man, I don't think.
We all know that feeling.
Yeah. Took like
First
maybe
time
2
jumping
years
into
to get a
pros.
win, I think, when I switched and said no more amateur, just
Yeah.
doing pro. Or
Yeah.
pro and
It's
masters.
rough.
It was like, god damn.
I think I only pulled amateurs maybe a year, and I was already dabbling in pro class. And then I said at the year mark, I think I placed at a big tournament, amateurs, right or left-handed. I'm like, I'm done, and then I just focused on pro after that.
Yeah, that's
What was mine?
Mark Schwarzkopf told me
18.
he's like once you he's balls to the wall fucking meathead, like kind of like me for real on the table. But he's like, once you win a couple tournaments, man, he's like crush a couple amateur tournaments. He's like, you need to jump up in the pros.
Yeah.
And I took his advice. I don't know if I should have jumped up there quite as soon as that, but I jumped up into them pros, man, and it was, I think my first guy was Don Underwood.
Yep.
And I was so used to back pressure at practice, you being safe practicing.
Right.
Side pressure.
That's all he came
Never
with.
felt it. Never felt it before.
You felt it with him, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was like boom. I was like, okay.
That's how he pulls too.
So that's where I'm at, is side pressure. Like, so that's why I always, like I was telling you at the beginning, I think of the podcast, is I always do side pressure.
Yep.
And that might be because of that, just because of that.
I'll show you.
My very first experience was like side pressure.
After this, I'll show you a few things.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love taking it in, man.
Side pressure, I always say, is the equalizer. You have a shit fucking hand, and you might not have back pressure.
I haven't been having good back.
But if you can go that way, that's the equalizer.
And
Because most people
go that way.
A lot of people don't train it because it's hard to train.
Fucks your elbow up.
Right, and you
My
stay
elbow's
sore.
trash now because of it, but I still got it.
Yeah, I can
I
see
just
that.
only have it till as long as my elbow hold it, and then I got to get it back, and then I can do it again.
Yeah.
I think also being taken outside of your comfort zone.
Yep.
Not too far outside to where you have to go to the emergency room, but you're like, man, I don't know if I can use this arm again. And I only say this from experience. When I jumped back in after taking that long period of time off, I went to what was that? Where was that at?
What's up, Aaron?
Where? Kentucky.
Which one?
It was me. I think me, Pat, and Thomas went. My very first
Tennessee.
tournament back, Tennessee.
You went
I'm
out
like-
to Tennessee State.
I'm like, man, and Dakota Ballard.
Dakota Ballard.
He's strong.
Oh man, he pulled me something sideways. I couldn't. Oh,
He's
phew.
very strong.
And had me outside of my comfort zone, really bad, really bad. But I can remember, it was a catching zone for me. It felt comfortable for me, but looked horrible on camera. Even Bill said on the like, I think he was in the back in the pod in the back, and he's like, "Oh, that's horrible position." Like, I'm like, "That's not what I want to hear from you." Whenever I went back and watched the tape, I'm like, "That's not what I want to hear." I'm like, "Damn," because I ended up taking it, but on files. But anyways, had me real outside my comfort zone. But when I came back, I was so hurt, man. It was like 2 months later. I'm thinking, like, I started pulling left.
Yep.
I'm doing 70 pounds left, 20 with my right.
Yep.
And I'm like, I told Bill, I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna be a lefty, man, And when it started to heal, like it just, I started pulling, and if it would hurt, I wouldn't pull, and
a lot of people, when it comes to training side pressure, a lot of people have misconceptions that you can train it like you do, like your bicep, your hand, your wrist. It's a function in a way of movement that's not natural, right? You're going against the way you're naturally supposed to move, like up, down, forward, this way. This isn't natural. So, and a lot of people forget that everything in your elbow is not necessarily muscle. It's ligaments and tendons. So your ligaments and tendons can only take so much stretching, and you can't consistently do it, because if you do, it's going to tear. So a lot of people overtrain it, as opposed to doing it maybe once every 4 or 5 days at 60 to 80% capacity, rather than trying to 1 rep max it out every week. So the key to a lot of that is find your max for 1 rep, walk it back to 60%, and train at that level consistently. So you're a little sore, but not like flaming hot, I can't touch anything, and go this way. A lot of people.
That's where I want to be at with it too. Is just what you just said. Is like, I almost wish I can almost be injured in a match, but not injured.
Right.
If that makes any sense. It's like, I want to be hurt, but to where it's just enough to where it takes some time to heal. Because when I came back, and I only say that because when I come back, man, my side pressure like almost doubled.
Yep.
Like I'm not even exaggerating. Maybe just a tad bit, but my side pressure was way stronger than what it was before.
Yeah. And that's the thing, consistency and time under tension is what I call it. So when working side pressure, because when you're in a match, especially when it stops, you're under tension the entire time. So a lot of people will only train one motion, going to the pad. Just go to the pad. Well, the problem with that is if you get stopped in a match, and say hypothetically you're stopped dead center or on the losing side, if you don't train all sides of the table, you get here, you're uncomfortable. And then you're going to freak out, and you're either going to lose because you don't have that tension, or you're getting to the winning side, and you don't have that finishing pressure because you're just used to going one motion. So
that's probably me.
So to me, you need to train offensive and defensive side both, is what I call it. So so with like the defensive side, I like to train static holds with heavier weight. So when you get to a certain position, you're trying to lock in. So it forces you to think like, okay, I'm getting ready to lose, lock in tight. Whereas on the offensive side, I'm still trying to work.
And just hold that tight until so you're almost cramping, and then...
So I do it for time. So dumbbell static holds for time. I'm giving away all my secrets.
No, because I'm
son of a bitch. That's why you brought me on here.
No, here's the thing is I do similar. I rep. Here I do slight rep. Like today this was me. This is my repping, and 20 pounds.
Yep.
Just repping, rep. 20, 30, 40 reps in, my arm starts to get sore.
Yep.
I start to hold.
Yep.
I'm just holding now. My arm's cramping.
Yeah.
I'm just getting the static hold in.
That's good. Yeah.
Boom. Then I'll drop it. So I mean, it's kind of similar to what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing that's going to help you is to keep changing it up. Don't do the same workout for 6 straight months, because you're going to get really, really strong in certain spots or certain workouts where it's going to offset what you're not strong in, right?
Or a plateau, kind of.
Correct. You're only going to get so strong until it says that's it. So I would suggest going a couple weeks with the same workout.
And I have a really bad habit of doing that too. I'm kind of old school. I'm basic.
Yeah.
And I know what works, and I work that. It's like I know I needed to go outside my box some, and I'm trying to get back into it, man. I really am, but
yeah. In my opinion, which this is
we'll see strongest badge. I'm training for strongest badge right now. That's what I'm doing. That's what I put in today in my head. I'm like, I'm going to start training for strongest badge. So see where that goes.
I think a lot of people overlook side pressure, and they also overlook hand strength. Not necessarily your hand, but your finger pressure. So containment.
Yep.
So a lot of people don't train fingers. I overtrain it probably, but that's because I have tiny hands.
Then you lose it out here.
Correct.
That's where I'm losing majorly.
I can contain, but it's everything back here. So I got to work on my back pressure and containment at the same time, because I have such small hands. People try to rip me open all the time.
My side pressure is amazing. I found that out with me and Wallace doing practice. But when anybody starts going that way across the table, I lost my back pressure majorly.
Yeah.
So.
Especially your bottom two, because those are your containment fingers, right? Because people, if they're trying to lead with their wrist in the top roll, if you look at your hand, your shorter fingers are the bottom two. That's why it's easier to go through.
And then, and if you're paying, if you're actually paying, you don't even have to pay attention. You can feel it. Whenever you start losing your grip, it always starts from the pinky.
Yep.
I mean, for me, it's like some people are always coming from my pinky through my, like I could feel each finger gradually losing its grip.
Yeah. Well, a good puller is going to try to go through the least path of resistance, which is going to be your shorter fingers. And that's why most of them, whenever they're gripping up with you, are probably trying to get as much coverage as possible, so you're not peeling their fingers open, right? So when you're gripping up, they're doing one of these.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, especially with somebody with bigger, thicker hands, because it's uncomfortable if you don't have like a complete coverage grip, what I call. So like wrapping all the way around. Unless you're trying to top roll, like posting style, then I would just ball up and then just work back.
That's me. I mean, I do a lot of posting, I'm not going to lie, but
yeah,
it works.
Yeah. If it works, it works.
I mean, I've been told I have a really strong post by some really good people. So
yeah, get better.
I focus on that a little bit, but don't get me twisted. I definitely want to work in the hook and some more side pressure. I love my side pressure. I'm always going to have that regardless, but definitely some more hook.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to work in the hook.
I like to hook everyone.
I get in the hook, but it's like it's an awkward position for me, and I can never figure out where I need to press in the hook.
Yeah.
Or which way I'm going in the hook,
Yeah,
I'm there, but
it's a little bit of a different pressure than it is in a top roll. Yeah.
I'm in there, but I don't know what I'm doing in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm here.
I'm here, but what am I doing here? Like, I know it'll go this. I got a good side hook, but what am I doing?
Just go to the pad.
That's where I try to go, man. Separation and side. That's me.
Yeah. Fucking suck lately, man.
Back
He'll
inside.
just beat the shit up all the time. I think it's just everybody's getting strong as fuck.
That's
exactly what it is.
Put me on a table with somebody that don't arm wrestle. Let me see what the fuck happens then.
No. That's literally how it is, though, man.
We do. We got a lot of big guys, man. So it's crazy. It's like, last time you came, where all of a sudden it's like, oh shit.
I could tell that I'd been away for a while.
And I train with everybody in here. Like, anybody wants to grip up with me, I grip up with everybody. So we all train together.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, and everybody trains pretty good, right? So it's gotten a lot better than it used to be.
The good thing here, I think the good thing is you got a lot of guys that are different in how they pull. So you have a lot of different variations, and everybody's
Tony's a good guy to pull with.
Yeah, I like pulling with Tony.
I like pulling with Tony.
Yeah.
So Aaron asks how often you train arm wrestling specific movements.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say, like, watching his adjustments on me helps me.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes any sense, like, I'm good at learning, like, from observing point of view, like showing me, like, physically. So whenever I go arm wrestle with Tony, like, whenever he comes up to make his adjustments and stuff, like, whenever I'm paying attention to him, I'm like, how it feels on me, I'm like, okay, it helps me out a lot. It really does.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of movements on the pad, elbow movement. Him and Bill both try to get me with they're like trying to show me how to put my elbow forward and stuff. Like, they try to show me the some awesome stuff, man. But I'm just it's hard for me.
Tony's like my protege, man. He don't pull nothing like me, but I've trained with him probably more than anybody.
He's a good guy to train with. Very strong.
Because when he showed up, I mean, it was bad. Like, we didn't think he'd even be coming back. Because it was like, God damn, I know the dude's strong, but, dude, it was just like, you just hold him like, no, well, that kind of. And he'd be trying so hard, but you'd just be like fucking holding him, right? Like, he had no wrist, and, I mean, and now I can't beat him no more, Like, I might have maybe possibly a couple angles right-handed, that I could get in there a couple lanes, but he can stop me.
Yeah,
he knows where those are because we train so much. He knows
he's
where
here,
those
he's
spots
here every
are.
Thursday too.
Oh yeah, twice a week with me for sure.
Yeah.
What was the question in the chat? How often do you train arm wrestling specific?
Yeah, specific movement.
Who was it that asked that?
Aaron.
For me, I train something at least every day, and I wouldn't call it a workout specific, but I try to do something that will focus either on my hand, wrist, forearm, or back pressure, side pressure. So when it comes to specific workouts, normally my routine is during the weekend, usually Saturday or Sundays during the day, is when I focus on my 1 rep max or heavy weights, low reps. And then I'll come back on Monday, Tuesday, and I'll do workout at my house where I'll focus on my hand, my wrist, my forearm more so than anything, a little back pressure. Midweek I do side pressure workouts. Where I still focus on hand and wrist, but more so on side pressure with variations of degree in which I'm facing what I'm pulling against. And then again, towards the end of the week, I go back into free weights and focusing again on back pressure, lat drag, stuff like that. So I try to split it up, and that's tentative. Obviously, it depends on how I feel. My big focus here lately has been more so on my fingers, my wrist, and my hand, because I've figured out since I've came back that was the thing that was the weakest so far, besides side pressure, which that kind of evaporates if you stop pulling. But for me and how I pull, I have to be able to contain somebody, so that's the first thing I got to start building up, and then I start following through with side pressure. I need to get on the table probably a little bit more than what I have, but to me right now what's more important is getting stronger than the table time, right? Like, I just need the table time to knock rust off, not necessarily to learn. So for me, it's just getting in that routine and staying strong, getting stronger, and then I'll hit the table when I can in between sessions just to knock that rust off. And
is there a reason for your containment? Like, you say, like I like how you said that you're like, I need my hand and my wrist because it helps me contain.
Yeah.
Is there a specific reason for why you need that containment?
I have tiny fucking hands.
Okay, so
like you seen the Burger King commercial? That's me. 100%.
After inside though, but like, is there a reason after why you have them inside? Is there something specific that like you don't have to give up a secret or nothing? Like, does it help you make your next move? Is that why?
If you're able to train your hand and your wrist enough to where you can have it in a kink position or to where your fingers won't fold open,
yeah,
you have a better chance of stopping the match as opposed, at least in my opinion, on how I pull. Right. Instead of just trying to slip and then take that risk they're going to come down with a press. Because I've tried that before, and I'm awkward when trying to go to a slip. I can do it, but I have to hit first and come underneath their hand, whereas if they get the hit on me, I'm not quick enough to roll out.
Okay.
So my first instinct, rather than rolling out, if somebody tries to top roll me, they go in that motion, I come forward and cup underneath as they're trying to top roll. Now, that's where I have to train my pronation a little bit to keep them from turning me under. So as they turn to go this way, I'm curling in and trying to catch
It's weird
them.
that you say that, Logston, am I saying that right? Logston?
Yeah, like
Bill
stun.
Logston
was
teaching me that because I like to top roll like this.
Yeah.
I've just been I used to dump my wrist, but I've been doing it like this.
Yeah.
He was saying if you dump your wrist, and he was showing me how easier it is to come through the pinky and.
Why do you think he always beat me? Look how his setup is. You can see videos on YouTube. He sets up so dumped, like his fingers are pointing down.
And he's shown me how to beat somebody that wants to press you and stuff. Yeah. And when he was showing me that, I was like, wow. Feeling it though is different than just he was like not just telling me, like feeling him doing it to me. I was like.
Because it puts all the pressure on your bottom too.
Yeah, it really did.
It's forcing your fingers to come up rather than stay tight, like lateral to them. So what that's doing is it's trying to automatically rip you open. So the only way you can combat that is to get a higher grip where your knuckles are towards the ceiling.
Yeah, you lose. You know, the crazy thing is whenever you start losing your hand like that, all this.
Mm-hmm. It just feels like you're.
It's pointless. It's like, oh, I'm so strong, but where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Come here.
He's good about it, and he's versatile. That's what I said, because he can have knuckles high, or he can do a low hand top roll and apply pressure through the back of his hand, and just keep spinning. And so that's all the pressure on your fingertips.
I mean, it's a little bit harder for me to do. I was trying it with him, and it's like
it's awkward.
It is. Yeah. It's like it's something I feel like you definitely have to train for.
Yeah. So essentially, instead of because you say you like to post, so your post, you're like knuckle high coming back. So when you're doing one of those maneuvers, it's not necessarily up, it's just back pressure and then peeling to the side, right? So you're putting pressure on their fingertips, and then you come around.
It's like a back pressure.
Back pressure, and
instead
then
it's not this pressure
it's
at all.
It's straight back, like a lat row.
And I think that's probably what I'm doing wrong. Is
you're trying to come up.
I'm trying to still do the same motion.
Yep.
With a different.
It's awkward, yeah, because you don't. And most guys don't have to use it that often unless they know somebody's a very strong hooker that can turn them in.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
I like that though.
Yeah.
More difficult than it sounds too.
It's hard.
It is really, and it's like to make those all that amount of adjustment is like, I just gotta next time get Benjamin outside. I gotta to stop his press next time. I gotta get him outside of his shoulder and make sure that he's center.
Yeah.
Talking to the refs, you know.
Yeah, and there's different things.
It's so hard to tell when you're up there, though. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're good.
It's so hard to tell when you're up there, though, too. But whenever you get back to your seat, people are like, "Man, did you not see him center table? Did you not see? Did you not do this? Did you not?" It's like, I can't see all of this. You know, it's like it's like I don't see all of that. I'm so focused in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But you look back, it's like it is what it is, and next time you just gotta put more into that match, I guess.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, you're only 2 or 3 years in too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got that long.
Yeah, no, you're still very new.
No
offense. I don't say that to be discouraging or anything.
No, most definitely.
I mean, if you look at like the people, majority outside of Austin Tevis, but if you look at like all the people that are ranked above you or somebody that you look up to, look how long they've been pulling.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of time there. So
when I pull them guys, it don't even feel the same as pulling somebody else. Like I don't know. Like the feeling's different. You know what I'm talking about, though. It's just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, there's definitely been guys before that I've pulled and was like, I'm there. Like I just a little bit more work and I get there. And then there's been guys that I've got on the table with and was like, Jesus, I don't know if I ever fucking get there, just because it's like a whole different level. But it lets you know where you stand, right? So and that's always interesting to me because you feel these guys regionally or nationally. I can't even imagine international competition, because then there's a whole nother step, you know? So
I've been ripped to the pad so fast, it's like, did I not tighten up enough? Like, have you ever been ripped down so fast, it's like, did I get a chance to even catch or anything?
Yes, Ethan Fritchie ruined my day.
Maybe I did, and he was just that much more stronger than me, period. That's
100%. I need a shirt, and I could sell that to a bunch of people. Ethan Fritchie ruined my day. Because he's done that to a lot of people. And he's walking around like 160 pounds and just annihilating people and winning overall in the tournament. Yeah.
Felt like that with, I forget it. I think it was a Georgian. One of them guys showed up at Brewski's one time.
Yeah.
Lefty. That dude was like that. And that,
there's one that used to train.
Robbie Castradick or whatever it is. I have the same thing, man. Just a crazy amount of like, what the fuck was that?
Just pressure everywhere. You just felt like
every angle, wherever you went, didn't even get to go.
It's like you grabbed
that's it. Lasha Darilli. Yeah, it was fucking nuts, man. I'm like, I haven't felt no shit like that.
Did he go to Brewski's?
Yeah, you remember?
He had the band on his arm.
He was like a truck driver.
Looked like a Dragon Ball Z character.
He was like 100.
I know that's funny.
He was like 190 or something.
I'm being dead serious with you, man. Yeah. He wasn't a very big dude, but he was
killing motherfuckers.
He took the biggest dude there, and he didn't get him the first match. I'm watching him. Second, third pull, I'm like, he's catching dudes up in my weight class.
Fucking solid, man. Fucking solid as shit.
Those Europeans, they're on.
I haven't seen him since then.
Yeah.
Well, he was from New York. I think he's out of the country now.
What'd you say his name was?
Lasha Darilli.
Okay. Now there was
monster.
There was a guy that was from Europe that was here locally. I think going to Lindenwood that would train with us, and he actually, competed over there. And he was out of shape, but he was going to school over here. And like within like a month, he was just like, "Ugh, like if you stay with this, I could see where you're at."
But that dude's just. I mean, he could arm wrestle. He just was a truck driver and was coming through, and the tournament was there.
Yeah. It just reminds me of the movie. It's
he's
a truck driver just coming through, and
yeah, for sure.
Over the top, over the top three.
A lot of truck drivers, right?
Yeah. Man,
not a bad thing to do. All right, let's. I'm gonna take 5 minutes because I need 5 minutes.
Restroom break.
Yeah, we'll be right back. be back. All right, strongest badge is that tournament, dude. You want to come to? That's what I get. It. There's a ton of tournaments, right? But we're central. I still want to be that tournament because I think I like the old school, man. I like the tournaments, the big brackets. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the amateur class is big. I get switching it up. I really considered even playing with, like, triple elimination and just doing one class. But it's like, you can't, man. That gap's too fucking big.
Yeah, that's a big gap to fill.
I get it. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's like, well, and I was thinking you could still pay, like, top 6. Or not pay, but you know what I mean? You award. But the gap's still just too big. But I figured with a triple elimination, the C bracket's just your amateurs kind of, right? The pros end up all A bracketed. And but you're talking like 30, 40 people deep. It's so fucking badass.
Yeah. I've always liked the Zloty tour, the open class.
Yeah, I thought about that too. And I think next year for sure, I'm going to do one where it's just the open class and that's money.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's so many guys that are not necessarily like.
If I had money, I'd do it this year.
How did Illinois do theirs? Does anybody know?
They just do an overall.
Well, they managed to pay out a decent amount, man. Like,
money-wise?
I took home like $250.
I'd say the entry fees, right? Like they had over 300 entries.
Yeah, but they did a set payouts because it was like
I still however they did it and was still be able to pay their people out. I'm sorry, Bill. However they did it and was still able to pay out everybody and everybody be happy. That's what I feel is.
Well,
that was an awesome turnout. I mean, I know I took.
I'm a little confused on how they pulled it off too.
Yeah. Me too. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm curious on how they exactly ran that and everybody got paid. Is because I went home with.
But yeah, they did have a ton of entries.
What was the entry fee?
I did pull
30.
I paid 30. Yeah.
So 30 an arm.
So $60.
Okay, so $60 per person.
Yeah, 30 an arm. 300 entries is what, $9,000.
Yeah. So factor.
But they had to get Leonard was there, Sean was there. I mean, Bill runs it. Pat would have done it.
Yeah.
They had to get Corey in.
I would say based on the payouts, they were probably.
It was set out, so it was like 50, 100, and 150, 150.
For every class, or each
arm.
I
think it was 150 for first and 100 for second.
That's what I mean. But that was through every class. Didn't really matter how many were in it. They just did it straight through. Instead of doing.
And that's crazy.
Depending.
Yeah. Well, and I would assume most of your tournaments that are trying to turn profit, or at least make your money back, you're probably making most of your money out of the amateur class anyways, because normally you see a lot more, in my opinion, in the amateurs than you do the pro class. So. With over 300 entry fees based at, what, $30 an arm, they're probably at least making their money back and maybe a little extra. But I would say they're not, like, going to retire off of it, but enough to keep it going. But that you also got to take into consideration that's an established tournament that's known to bring in a lot of great pullers. So
I'm just curious on how it was exactly ran because it's like everybody had to have been happy because nobody said anything about it.
They were paid up front before the tournament.
And I mean, I'm happy. I'm not.
They had some sponsors and shit too. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
okay. So is that where we're at too? Is like sponsor?
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely need sponsor money.
Yeah.
When do people?
I get a little bit.
Who would you say is sponsored? When do you start becoming sponsored? When do people start?
When you get sponsor money.
You can be sponsored right now if you wanted to by anybody, as long as they're going to give you money. Technically, it's a sponsor.
Show them your videos. Show them what you're
getting. You're a sponsor, dude. You train for free.
Technically, the technicality, Gateway Arm Sports, baby, all day.
So most of the time, the sponsorships, depending on how you're going about it, like if you're an athlete looking for a sponsorship, majority of the time you have to have some accolades behind it because they're not just going to give you money if you're Joe Schmo. Like, hey, I'm going to arm wrestle this tournament. Do you want to, spot me the $30? And they're going to be like,
unless you know the right people,
right? And correct.
You might have a business that'll just sponsor you because you're like, dude, I can arm wrestle, dude. I'm good.
Right.
Pay, and then they might get you a hotel and pay your entry fee and get you into the next tournament at nationals or something. Say, look, I'm going to the U.S. Nationals, right? I'll wear your fucking shirt on the stage and shit.
You should just go to the local bars, man, and just be like, hey, man.
Well, this is a big stage, though, where you're like, it's a live
Show
stream
them what
and all
I'm
this
capable
shit.
of.
But then you're wearing their shit. You spot,
Exactly. Show them where I'm going to be wearing their logo at.
Yeah. It's all about
what I'm capable of doing and where I'm going to be at. And
I run the live stream at that event, so I could get you got the ploy where you could say I could get you on a live stream.
Well, I had somebody tell me, I had a bar owner once, Kenny's Bar, tell me that he would pay for my tournaments. But,
see? There you go. That's what I mean. And now you're further up. That's your sponsorship.
Yeah, I need to go talk to him again, but
you're like, hey, I've been working on this. We're doing that.
I don't know how much BS was behind it, but
no, you don't. Here's what you do: you get your tournament, your travel, man. Try to get some money to get down there. Say, I need to get down there and back, and it costs.
Yeah, that's all I want is I don't need. I'm not looking for money for me. I'm looking for people to pay for pay for me to get to these tournaments and pay for my tournaments. That's
if they own a bar, dude, it's $300 ain't really shit for them to drop down and fucking hook you up, and you wear their shirt out there, and like I said, you could say, hey, look, we'll put your shit up on as a sponsor.
So a couple of people that come to mind as far as sponsorship that within arm wrestling, Danny Mosier's real good. He's got multiple sponsors. Michael Todd obviously has multiple sponsors. So if you watch like Michael Todd's events, like all his sponsors are in the background at all times, or on the live feed, he has their logos and everything. And then even on his YouTube video, it's in the intros. So it's all about how you want to market yourself and like which direction you want to go with it, right? So I would personally tell you, like, figure out what business you want to represent that's more you than just necessarily just like, hey, I just want money, because that way.
Yeah, it's not about money. I just want money for the tournaments.
Correct. You want to go to that guy that already offered.
I agree with what you're saying, though, Yeah.
He already offered. That's the guy.
I would, so basically, the last time he offered, think about where you were in the sport at that point and where you are now, right? So
now
he
just
said,
present it.
So he said 300 at the time, and you're telling him now I'm potentially knocking on the door for top 10, so I'm going to get national level exposure. Can we say 600? So you got to start somewhere. You negotiate, go from there, and say, hey, I'll wear your shirt. I'll plug you on if I get interviewed, I'll plug you on my Facebook, all my socials that I'm going here.
Announcements, anything.
Yeah. So that just gets more eyes to their page, and you can tag it back to them. And there's a lot of different ways.
And then the next tournament's the next month. You call them back, hey, dude.
Yeah.
This tournament's up. You want to do this one? It's a big one.
Yep. And so the best thing is
bam.
Like as you progress and get better, like the more eyes that are on the tournament, like say it's a pay-per-view, like Michael Todd's thing, like, hey, this is a pay-per-view. Just that noise right there, they're going to say, oh, okay, well, there's a lot more eyes on it. So the more potential it has, the more you're probably going to receive. I would start with anything. If anybody's willing to give you money to do stuff.
You got Brad's videos in there now to show you, too. Those are professional as fuck, so it's good to go back. You got him recording. You beating Pablo.
Do not take the videos, send the links from Brad's channel to them to let them watch it. That's viewership for Brad's channel, so he gets
awesome.
Tell him to like it and subscribe too.
That's usually how I am.
Yeah.
Win-win, win-win, and win.
Yep.
And win.
So, yeah. As far as the matches, maybe Mike, you get something up in there.
When and where?
I don't know who it'd be.
Who would you like to pull? I don't want to put you on the spot. I do that all the time in here. I put people on the spot. But if you had to pick a couple people you would like to pull, either right or left-handed, who would it be and why?
That's a good one.
I used to be a managing editor of a newspaper, so I'm pretty good at questions.
Yeah. This is really good.
Put him on the spot.
Well, looking at these brackets over here, I would have to say
I think you and Brad Gundy would be interesting.
He's a monster.
Yeah. Chris Chandler would be tough.
Chandler's hurt.
Is he? Right-handed?
He's right.
That's unfortunate. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. Carl Stanley would be tough. He's got that nasty press.
He's more of a lefty, and I think he's falling soon. Somebody.
Yeah. BJ and you would be good because he's a big man.
See, and I was looking at. I'm not even gonna lie. I was gonna say Chance Shaw for some reason.
Yeah.
We pull very similar, but
I think I could get Chance here.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one.
Especially for somebody underneath.
Realistically, I mean,
BJ would do it though.
Yeah, BJ's good. He's a strong puller too. And we're talking right-handed, so I think BJ would be a great matchup for you. A healthy Chris Chandler would be interesting.
Healthy though.
Right, but I'm just saying healthy. I'd love to see these two go at it.
He's a monster.
I would say your benchmark, like what would tell you where you're at really quick, would be pulling somebody like Wayne Withers or Ron Bath.
Yep.
They would, you'd know real quick, like, because that's kind of to me, like, you get into that top 10 there in that class.
Oh, them guys are going to show me where I'm at immediately.
Yeah. You'll know if you're knocking on the door or not at all. Pretty quick. So,
and you know the sad thing, the crazy thing is Bath. I know would crush me before Withers would, but the crazy thing is me and Withers pull so much alike.
Yeah.
His arms are so long. It's like it would be whoever has that top pressure.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yeah.
It would be. I mean, I'd like to see either one of those matches. I guess.
Yeah.
It'd be an honor to pull either one.
Ron's incredibly nice. Yeah, he's a great guy. Tim Breslin's another one that I met. He's super nice and laid back. And now that I see the names, I need to see Austin and
Jaggers.
Tim run that back.
Yeah.
So Austin's got Derek coming up.
Does he really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
So you might not need to run it back.
Yeah, because he'll leapfrog him at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I like Derek a lot. He's got the most potential, I think, out of anybody in the top 10 right there. Austin right behind him.
Derek Smith?
Yeah.
He's huge,
I don't know why he isn't even up there.
Yeah, no, he's number 5. Derek's based out of California.
Austin,
he's like 6'8".
Austin call him out?
Austin would probably be his strongest badge. I know his team's coming.
He's a solid puller, very solid. He's came a long way as well. Where are they pulling at? Where's Derek? Is Derek traveling or is Austin going out there?
They're both traveling. I think it's the East Coast. Some shit.
Oh, shit, why didn't they just find somewhere in the middle? Like the John Brzezinski Cup or something.
Yeah, whoever's paying for it.
That's interesting. I think the first match dictates where that whole series is going. I think if Derek top rolls the shit out of him, which I don't think that's going to happen, I think it's going to be very close. I would say the first match will indicate how the rest are going to go. It's going to follow suit. I don't see it being vastly different.
I mean, there's just that alone, just me thinking, where I said it was, top 7 or whatever, and then it got muddy.
Yeah.
Look at Corey Bresnan at the very bottom, and look how close it was with him and Derek Smith.
That's what. So the heavier classes, it's very murky.
That was left-handed, though, wasn't it?
I'd say you have your.
Hold on, that was left-handed.
I'd say the top 4 are in a tier, and then after that, it's kind of. And see, I think Austin beats Michael Todd for 3. I don't know if Robbie could beat Michael Todd left-handed. I don't know. Because Austin beat Robbie pretty convincingly.
Yeah, he kind of smashed him.
I'm impressed that Derek Smith is in the top 10 because he's not a lefty at all. Chandler being on that list is impressive, which his left has always been good. Ryan Constantino, he's pulled for a long time. He's been away from the sport for some time, I believe, but he used to pull back in the mid to early 2000s. Wallace should be higher. Devin as well.
Wallace is just coming on.
He's strong.
What's up, Phil?
Who is it?
Phil Woody, UK.
Nice.
Yeah, he's coming on strong. Well, Wallace Dilly, I mean, how long's he been pulling it? I guess not too long. I mean, he's got to be in there because he knows what's going on, but
he looks pretty technical.
He's kind of exploding on the scene.
Yeah.
Now.
He looks very strong. Pretty technical.
Looked like there was some strong guys on that Nebraska team with him, too. Did you pull any of their other guys?
Wallace's guys.
Who all was on his squad?
He was those Nebraska. What did they call them? Nebraska high.
I think I pulled 2. Yeah, they all felt really strong.
Yeah. All them teams. I want to get those teams. Did you see the team trophies? Got them in
for strongest badge.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. I don't do much on social media.
Everybody felt good in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Well, it's on just the regular internet too. You know.
I'm telling you, I don't do much.
No, they just came in. It looked pretty good.
Is that the new shirts?
Yeah, did you see those two? Hold on, let me show you the trophies. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that center one we're bringing back here.
That's the plan, right? I mean, we got
We're bringing that back here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
But, I mean, you got Psycho coming in strong because they got some super matches and they're the good ones to go. And
So the super matches count? In my opinion, they shouldn't. I was just say it should be just a tournament.
It's a tournament.
Okay.
But they got the guys coming in, is what I'm saying. So they're going to be rolling it deep, and we should have a good chunk of teams. I hope people realize that everybody counts. So when everybody on your team counts and it's top 4 of any class,
you want a 154. Or
you want it deep.
Up.
That's where the deep helps, right? But
yeah.
So
your best guys are the best.
The biggest classes are going to be Kansas, and I guess Missouri because they have Missouri guys, and then the Illinois team, and then potentially the Tennessee team.
Maybe volume-wise, probably, yeah.
Because it's going to take volume to win it.
No, you need the best guys.
But if you have
volume can win over best though sometimes.
That's
because
what I'm saying.
Not if you just got the best guys.
Say a 154, whatever it is, takes 4th place, and he still gets credited for points. But your super heavy, whatever it is, your super heavy doesn't get none, or somebody doesn't get none.
But he'd have to take 5th place or something. But if you got all your guys finished first, and you only got 4 of them, there's still 4 first place.
Right, but if you got a team coming with 20 people, and they all finish somewhere close to 3 or 4, they're going to have more points. So volume's going to take over.
Not than 4 first. 20, 24, say.
I'm saying hypothetical. You could have a situation where quantity is going to override quality.
Yeah, that's where we get the advantage because we're probably home field. But that's the thing. Do they even show up? My people don't always show up. If I could get just Gateway to show up, that's 120 entries right there.
Fuck. Yeah.
I'll hit 400 if the whole fucking team just shows up for my tournament, which they should, right? The least they should do.
I can
show up to my tournament.
I can show up and go 0-2.
I think I got Greg Allen coming. I think I got Sterling rolling off the couch, right? So I can get the team to come.
As long as Greg's at 172.
I think Mark Schwarzkopf will show up for this one.
And I'm always coming. I feel like the Poe too. I'm like the sensei, you know what I mean? I like Poe.
But I just feel like if I could get all the Gateway to show up, maybe I hit that 400 number and I can start competing with Michigan State and shit.
That's impressive what they do up there.
Yeah.
He's,
I schedule around him and shit. I don't want nothing,
And I think he tries to do that with everybody else too. He tries to think about other tournaments, but the amount of entries they get up there is insane. And that tournament's been a benchmark state tournament for a long time. It in Illinois State, from when I first started, that were the state tournaments, right? If you won those, you were.
I wonder if I can
nasty.
Wonder if I can get him to give an entry to every winner of each class.
Maybe.
Or do you think he'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing that for you?
You'd have to. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
A month away.
What's going to benefit him on that end? Because obviously you're going to have benefits on this side.
Just people that are coming in. Yeah, I don't know. Does it? It doesn't. That's what I mean. Would he do it? Because he could easily not do it, right?
So I would ask him what an entry fee is.
It'd be my entry fee.
So you're saying they have to win
if they win Michigan State, they get an entry into Strong's badge. He could just say, hey man, if you win, that's just another thing to give the winner.
I mean, yeah, I think
they're giving them an entry into my tournament. I'm paying for the entry.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So if
that's $50 right there. Ain't
it doesn't cost him anything, but it's not necessarily helping him.
He'd be up for it. I think.
Yeah,
why wouldn't he? Because he's
you
not
win
out
$50.
Any money.
That's a $50 entry. I'm taking that.
Yeah,
and then you're getting the good guys to come.
Yeah, because he's not out any money because he's not paying.
Hey, ain't out shit.
Yeah, I think he would be up for it. Yeah, I don't see any problem with it. I always thought it would be cool to give somebody money that's the furthest traveled to a tournament. Because you always get somebody that kind of pops up that's long distance every once in a while, right? So
consideration.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you're putting in the time and energy to get here. Pay those people and hey, thank you for coming. I know it's an 8-hour trip. You spent your hard-earned money. Here you go.
Yeah,
I would do anything's better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
I got to see where the buddy's at, man.
Just winning your money back.
So this year, and I mean, I've built up. I've been trying to get every year. I think I do better than everybody else.
I'm getting one of your trophies this year. I'm getting one.
Still don't have one?
I'm getting one. In 2023, where things will happen.
That's pretty good.
It was.
You need him to do the intro for your
Yeah,
video.
baby. Shit.
That's legit. I'm dead serious.
You want to do some? You want to do any of the stream?
For when?
The strongest badge?
If I'm pulling, it's going to be hard for me to do both.
If you're only pulling one class.
Right, but obviously I got to set a benchmark and not do what I did last time, right? So.
Which is what? Get your ass kicked?
Get fucking waxed. Lose 60 pounds in 3 months and get waxed. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do shit like that, man.
I need some stream guys that like for real do good. I need a stream that's like the color guy with the guy like the whole time it's commentated, not like me where I come in and I commentate for like 5 minutes and I'm like, all right, can somebody look at this? I need to take a break and I want to like go pull on the side table and talk to this guy. And,
I don't. Yeah, we can talk about it.
I'm not that colorful.
On the weight subject though, man, like
I get it. I don't want to take you from winning either. Like I want people to compete.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about it.
But the way that I run it too, like when you're because you just would run one class. One class, and it's going to be like scheduled at a time. You'll have like a time.
Right, I'll know. Yeah.
And you're just running through the whole fucking class, and that's it.
That's the one thing I like about what you're going to do with this tournament is because I hate not knowing when I need to be ready.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. It's like there's something to that, right? When you're sitting there waiting, you don't know what's going on, you're getting cold, and I'm not even stopping for the finals either, because that's the same thing. You're stopping, you're getting cold, and it's like, I don't need people to wait around for a big finale at the finals.
Once we're in it, we're in it.
Yeah.
It's like a Daytona 500.
Yeah, you just roll, and when it's over, if you got another class, you could do that, or if you got the other hand, you can do that.
But if you get called right back up there, though, I do believe that there should be a break.
Well, here's the thing: if you get called right back up, you can have a break.
Time out.
As long as we're rolling.
The only reason you should have to come back up there, though, is if you're pulling multiple classes, multiple weight classes.
No, yeah, because otherwise, the only way you're going back to back is if you're in the finals or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I've been called back to back before, like
smaller tournaments.
Mikey Vola, it's like, oh shit, right back up there again.
You can ask him for a break. Most of the time, they'll give it to you.
And I don't, but you know what though? People are so hyped up on adrenaline.
Yeah.
And you can almost call it, watch your next tournament. They'll do it. You'll see a person that gets called right back up there.
Yeah.
If you catch it and watch them, instead of them taking their break, they'll always go straight to the table. And the only thing I can think of is because you're so hyped up on that last win, you're like, I got this. Oh shit, I don't got this. You know, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Like I run a proprietary program, right? Like I do my own shit, and it does not run out of order. So most other programs, like you have the option of like, oh, this match is, you can see the bracket. You want to do this one, or do you want to do this one?
How hard could it be to run a bracket? We used to do this shit on Dragon Ball Z and PlayStation, like back in.
You're not running one bracket. You're running like 30 brackets.
Well, you know what I mean,
time,
though. You know what I mean? Like how hard could it be to run a bracket system?
But it's 30 brackets at one time.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
You got it down to a T. It's like, thank God somebody has it.
Well, the program does that shit, right? And that's where a lot of people don't get it because they're all like, oh, it's just computer or this, that. But the computers run different shit, and it's still a lot of info going on. And a lot of times they can say, okay, because the bracket, you have all these starting matches. Well, you could do any of them. My program will not go out of order. So it's the integrity of the bracket is 100% intact always, because it's going to go from match 1 to match 30 in order. You can't go do match 4 or match 3. Oh, these guys aren't here. We'll just skip to this match.
Right,
and go
you can't
back.
do that bullshit. Yeah,
no, you can't.
I want to see the program.
You know, well, there's a.
I'm curious too. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm quite curious.
Last year, yeah, you were. You
last year
you
didn't
sucked.
have it.
You got kicked out in 2. You went 0-2.
You didn't.
No, you had 21, wasn't it?
The last one though, I didn't do. That was still the last one.
Yeah, no. So 21, I went to that one.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it. Like
it was on the. But you saw the pit screen.
I saw the pit screen, but I don't see the actual program. Is what I was saying.
Yeah, you don't need. I mean, the pit. It's not pretty.
Just how it's
basically all 3. I got a dashboard, so all 3 tables are on one screen.
Yeah.
So instead of having to go tab to tab to fill in info, I don't have to do that because all 3 tables are on the screen.
I want to see the backside of it because I work in Excel every day, so I'm kind of curious what the formulas are that they're.
Probably got it simplified.
It's written in C#. So
okay.
But yeah, for sure, man.
I'm curious.
We'll be up there.
Yeah.
Either way, with the pit screen, it's way better because I'm not having to call the on decks all the time. The guys are just coming up. You know what's going on. So hopefully this year I'll have it to where that pit screen is viewable. You'll be able to pull it up on your phone. So if everybody can get it on their phone.
Nice.
what the fuck, because I will have one big screen where it is, but and then maybe where the refs can enter in, like the down ref maybe has a device and can enter in the winner for me. And then I have a visual of who's winning, as well as instead of having to chase them down or, find out who's there. So there's also, like, I'll have the awards all set up in the back. So they're all set up right. And I got a banner, like just a step and repeat type shit.
Right.
For the awards. So everybody's scheduled out. You're running your bracket, right? You go up, you run through your bracket, you win. You go fucking pick up your shit, take your picture, get your award.
Yeah.
It's all set up and lined up back there. You're not waiting to get awards later. There's not going to be an award ceremony at the end. Once it's over, it's fucking over because you done already got your shit.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
After this, I got an idea on that.
So
might make you some money or save you some money.
Yeah, but I like that concept, right? Because
get people in and out.
Well, yeah, I get it. Everybody, like, why are you have to wait? You could have your bracket ran. You only ran one bracket. It ran at 2:15. Now you're gonna sit around for 4 hours just to wait to get your trophy because you got to wait for everybody. Because who's waiting for an award ceremony? Nobody gives a fuck about that.
It's the truth. Once I lose twice, it's like
I've left.
You want to be gone.
I've left before without a 6 foot.
Yeah, people don't give a fuck.
I don't give a shit. Like,
They don't want to give it early because it's a pain in the ass. Like, oh, just wait. Like, I don't want to wait for fucking 4 hours. I'm done. I'm pissed off because, whatever.
Mine wasn't for arm wrestling. It was for something else. But it was a 6 foot trophy. I'm like, this would be cool, but I'm not waiting around until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning for this event to be done. Can I come get it some other time? They were like, yeah. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Cool.
So get it, go. And then you could go get a drink if you want, or you can after pull if you want. Like, So the whole time I'll have, like, 3 tables set up on the outside of the room so people can after pull already or warm up or whatever, right? So, with a warm up inside.
The venue, it's at the venue where weigh-ins were.
It's at the hotel.
Where at exactly in the hotel? Because is it in that area?
It's in the Cardinal Ballroom.
Oh, in the ballroom.
No. Yeah. Okay. So where we weighed in was out on that deck.
The deck, yeah.
Hopefully, that's where I'm doing the main card.
That's a cool spot.
Right, but it's possible that gets rented out in the process, because if it's not rented out, I can just kind of like take it over.
Okay.
But if they rent it, then, because I'm not renting that too.
Right.
I already got, like, dude, it's a $15,000 minimum at this place.
That sounds
like,
right.
You know what I mean? I got to get, that comes out of like your bar, your rooms, all that shit, but... Dude, so much fucking money.
And you reserved a block of rooms, right? There.
Yeah, I got a block.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a huge discount too. It's like because normally the rooms are $369, just the low rooms. I mean, it's a 4-diamond hotel. It's legit.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
But it's like $155. We got.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But it's like $190 after taxes, everything. Yeah. Not parking, but all in everything else. It's like $190.
Parking for a couple days, you're probably in what, $220 range.
I think we got parking for like $20 a night if you stay or some shit like that.
Yeah, but for like the location and how nice that hotel is, that's not bad. I mean, you go anywhere else, any other major city, and try to stay somewhere downtown, like
it's $400 a night if you don't get the discount.
Yeah,
at a cheap one, it's
and then you're
like
driving.
That price. So
but then you're driving, right? And here's the thing, like, we're not getting kicked out of the place, so like we got 7 tables going all night. Like, you could pull all night.
This guy won't be pulling all night. I'm gonna take my happy ass over to the county and say, hey, I'm done.
Yeah, but I mean, for people that like to kick it and want to just hang out and whatever, I mean, it's a nice place. How far away do you stay?
I'm over in St. Charles.
That ain't that far at all. Why don't we see you more?
Down there, it's a little bit of a drive.
Okay.
From my house to here, it's like, what, 35 minutes, 40 minutes?
That ain't that much.
When you're lazy and you don't like to drive, it is.
Yeah, man, give me your number. I'll make you unlazy. Like, come on, motherfucker, get up.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes. It ain't even that ain't shit. Couple songs, you'll be here.
Couple songs.
So that's a big thing, I think.
Yeah.
I did go long ways. I split the seating. I was going to make it wide. It's a long room, so I was going to put it here and have everything around it.
Yeah.
But the way they got the stage, they only have so much stage to avoid me having to go buy staging and have it come in. they have like curtains that cover the windows going on the outside already.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's way better than me having to get a backdrop because I was already going to get black curtains to cover the back.
Right. Is there a platform where the tables are going to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be on stage, like a normal.
So it's a
built-up stage.
Gotcha.
That's
going to be nice.
3 tables.
Yeah.
And then 1 pit on the side. I'm just going to kind of push them left to right. And there'll be a section of VIP tables that I'll sell. Then I got green seats behind that, right? So anybody that stays in the hotel will have access. We'll give them like a wristband, and they'll have access to green seating, which is right behind the VIP seats, but it's table service as well. So when you sit there, we'll actually have people come in you don't have to get up to get your drinks and
That's
shit.
awesome.
They'll fucking
Need
serve
to get
you.
one of those.
Yeah, so either if you stay there or not, or
Sure, I was thinking VIP.
VIP is the same thing. It's just a little closer. But if you already staying in a hotel, you don't need to get VIP.
You have to stay in the
technically
hotel for VIP.
for the green seats. I'm just saying if you do stay in the hotel, you have you get table service.
How much is it for VIP?
It's $100 a table, I think. So
That's not
$80,
bad.
$20
No,
a
not at
seat,
all.
kind of.
Yeah.
Four
Split that with the
tables of
buddy.
4. They're like $20 a seat.
Bring some friends and it's cheap. Yeah. That's not bad. I'll probably end up doing the VIP because I don't know if I'll stay in the hotel or not. And me and my wife might make a night of it or something, but
Yeah, you don't even live that far away for it to be.
yeah.
We'll drive to Kansas City and back. I'm not doing Tennessee and back again. I'm not.
Hey, my man, I've done all of that.
I'm not doing Tennessee. Period again. Like I've heard of jet lag before, but man, you get there, you're so tired.
If you make a night of it, you should come Friday if you're going to do one night.
That's
and
what I
just
would
leave
do.
after the
That's
tournament
what I would
anyway.
do, yeah.
But check out the fights, and then you can pull or do whatever you want, or right-handed maybe.
That's what I would do. Technically Friday, weigh in, eat dinner, stay there for the night, watch the super matches, and then after the tournament, come home. That's what I was thinking. You're on that wavelength.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go one night, that's it.
Yeah.
Because the people that are coming in, I guess they want to stay 2 and do the next night. I mean, obviously the after pull will keep going, but
people that travel for sure.
because who's really going to leave that night if they're most people are going to travel the next day.
Yeah,
would.
It's very true.
I like to go the day before even if I go to Tennessee again. I want to go to the day.
Yeah.
I picture it like the Nationals or whatever. We were down there. There was a lot of people that stayed. You're in the hotel. I don't think you were down there in Texas, but like Sean ended up, we had to drag him out of the pool, but we got the fucking
that would have been me.
The room back opened up, like the room where they held the damn event. They got it opened back up, and they had the 3 tables that we were able to at least after pull. But there was like probably 40 people in there trying to after pull.
Yeah.
And you're standing in line and you're waiting on these 3 tables. That's where I'm like, man, we need some tables in there, right? So
you guys are psychopaths. I was never big on after pulling though.
Yeah, I fucking love
Some of them guys are like Thomas Goldstein. That guy's a psychopath on after pulling, bro.
That's why he's getting so good, though.
Guys will be in after pull ripping each other still. I'm like, how?
No, man, you're already just hanging out. You're drinking a little bit.
I just want to tighten up with somebody and feel their.
Yeah, but there's so many people, and you don't always see those
Feel
people.
that
And it's like
pressure.
you get to grip up with all the different.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, man, I can't. It's hard not to.
No, but some of them are trying to go balls to the wall. Boom, boom, boom.
That's
boom.
why
It's
that right there is why I don't.
It's like this is after pulls. Like this doesn't.
Yeah, you
count.
gotta find the right people for sure. That kind of shit.
That's how I got my first injury. Was because somebody just took off. I'm like,
I remember Tim Bresnan walking out pissed off, yelling at one of the Canadian dudes out there in Vegas when we were at the Armfighter Championship.
Yeah,
that Sean puts on.
There's a couple of people that I won't name drop, but there's a couple of people that are active pullers that will just fucking take off, and it's like, why? You know, you're not going to do anything, but yeah, and that's just one way ticket to get somebody hurt.
Pull, I'm just trying to feel strength and it's endurance and I'm not trying to rip on you. I'm like especially if I'm not probably.
I still want to pull though.
Definitely.
So I don't know. I like it.
I just try to tell people slow pull when I come up, when I get up to them.
But a big thing is always tables available. It's like, right? Like the tournament's over, people start breaking them down. Somebody's trying to leave, and it's like, maybe you got to take, one more. Let me get one more. And they're like, we got to go, man. So a big thing for me is like I wanted to make sure that's there. So there's going to be you know, there'll be at least 7 tables probably available at all times. So.
That'll be a fun tournament.
That's the plan. I mean, real not like I said, it's a 4-diamond fucking hotel. It's fucking crazy.
It's nice. That was the first the weigh-ins was the first time I was ever there, to be honest with you, and I was like, wow, this is pretty nice place. They have the that bar area on the inside, the floor
like
level,
little whiskey bar type.
Yeah,
thing.
I like that.
Yeah, and the food's good too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably if you stay there too, it's like 20% off food and non-alcoholic drinks the whole time. $2 off domestic bottles.
Yeah.
And then they give you Wi-Fi and something else. There's a lot of perks for staying there. And hopefully it turns out good, man, because I've never paid for a venue before this, so
yeah,
it's always like you get venues, right? But these people work for you too. Like it's different. I've been able to. It's a little different.
Yeah.
So hopefully it makes the whole experience like just.
I think it will.
Easy, seamless, right? Like how it should be instead of this like, you know, not to shit on anybody, but you're sitting at a picnic table filling out brackets with pencils and shit, you know.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
They're not brackets, but waivers, you know.
You talk about that, but one of the most unique things I've ever won in an arm wrestling tournament was a dump truck of gravel. 2-inch clean gravel. I shit you not. I promise you. This is not fucking made up. We were at a little bitty local tournament, which it was a great tournament. And they were doing raffles and stuff, so the local people could win stuff. And I guess I must have been drinking a little bit, and I bought raffle tickets, and I won a fucking dump truck load of gravel. I'm like, I'm not going to bring this back to St. Louis. I'm like, go ahead and redo it. And a little old woman that was there won it. I'm like, cool. I feel better. I was like, out of all things I could win, a load of gravel. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, I never win anything, and that's what I win.
Hey, it's a win though.
Hey, very true.
It's a win.
I like that. I never win anything is something that should be coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, never. I don't win much.
Yeah. Other than that, my biggest concern right now is the bracket checking. The way I have it set up, I want a bracket check like on that pit screen, right? Instead of having to call out names, because that's a hassle, man, and people got to listen. I want to say, hey, man, I'm putting them up on the screen. Go make sure your shit's there and just list it out. So in order to do that, that's fine, and then I can do that real easy, especially at the beginning. But when I'm running the tournament, I run amateurs and then I run pros, and it's all kind of scheduled out.
Yeah.
Without like having a break in there, which I really didn't want. I just want to just kind of roll. Where's that time to, stop? So I think I am gonna have to at least like break it off for 15 minutes between amateurs and pros. I mean, hopefully it would work out that way anyway, but I didn't want to because I just wanted to fucking let's knock this shit out. But in order to keep the pros to be able to sign up later, there's got to be a spot in there where I can check them out, unless I do it on a completely separate, maybe I have to do it on a separate system.
Are you going to do amateurs first and then pros?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which I still stand by, man. I know, like, Sean's doing pros first and everybody's going that way, but I don't know if you've seen any of those tournaments that run that way or end up that way. Like, I think Illinois might have turned out that way eventually. I know Kansas City was this last time. What I feel happens, first of all, I get Sean's argument was, the pullers should, like the pro pullers should deserve to have like fresh refs, because they've done all this shit, right? And okay, I guess that's a good argument, right? But the amateurs never deserve to have not fresh refs.
I would argue the other side of it. I'd rather have a ref that's tired. You're gonna get away with more.
Either way, the amateurs don't deserve that, right?
Yeah,
because they need to be safe, and they need a fresh ref because the refs are more in. You need the better refs to do amateurs. If
Logically,
anything.
when you start thinking in that direction, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like if you got a new ref coming up, it'd be better for them to do pros than it would be to do amateurs.
Yeah,
because not a huge match, but like just a pro match, because the pros at least are going to be safer. You're not going to like put somebody in danger because you make a bad call or you don't stop it in time, right?
Yeah.
Where amateurs need that. So, but more importantly for me, it's like the demeanor of the event, right? The energy dies, right? Like, so if you got the pros coming up, it builds up, you start doing it, everything's getting good, the matches are getting good, and then there's the winners, and then okay, we're gonna go to amateurs. Well, nobody gives a fuck. Everybody's doing this, and now the energy's dead as fuck.
I think the one thing to consider though is a lot of your amateurs are going to bring people with them. So most of your crowd outside of the arm wrestlers is going to be for the amateurs.
But it's not.
So they're going to be the ones that are like into it, right? Like they're going to be the ones cheering it on outside of the arm wrestlers that traveled.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. Is most amateurs are going to bring people with them to watch them do it because it's unique, it's different. Most people haven't been to a tournament.
It doesn't help the dying energy though.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that's something to consider though.
But if you consider that and you
Being
do
in
it
the
the other
though,
way,
I'm feeling it. It's like I've been there with you.
You saw it at Kansas City, right? It just.
I don't think it registered as much until you said it while we were in Kansas City.
Then the refs are fucking done. They don't want to be there no more, so now they're fucking like tired and trying to get out of it, and these amateurs are getting fucked on that, and it's just not a good situation in it, right? Where if you take that same thing into consideration, what you said, but just flip it around backwards, you're doing amateurs first. The amateurs are still bringing the people in, and it's shooting it up early with the amateurs, and it just gets better with the pros, and then it could just die off.
Yeah,
right, and it's not that like. You don't want to finish it off and it sucks at the end
bouncing
because
all
it's
around
like
too, man. It's really
it's like leaving it with the judges, right?
Yeah,
and it was boring at the end. You don't want it at the end. You got to come down with the crash. You got to finish with the end of the pros.
I like it like that, but that's just my opinion.
That's just why I do it that way. I don't want to change it. I think, but I do allow the pros to sign up later than the amateurs. So like amateur cutoff is at 11. But the pros aren't cut off till 1. They still have till 1 to sign up. They don't have to come early.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, it's not like, they just have to sit there and suffer and go wait for the amateurs. They don't have to wait.
Yeah.
They don't have to be there till then. I give them extra time.
That makes sense.
I get it. They're there with them sometimes. So, but oh well. Like at that point, you signed up for it, right? So. You're going to be there at the end anyway. What's the difference?
And chances are you're going to get amateurs to jump in the pro class after they pulled if they feel like they didn't.
I mean, they only have so much time, right? In that sense, because they would have to, like the amateurs. Normally, the cutoff's going to be while it's still going on.
That's true.
So I mean, that's a concept, but I don't think that's a big thought. Like I don't think people are doing that.
Yeah,
that's not a point. What'd you say?
I didn't think about that. 12 o'clock, 12:30 rolls around. If you're still,
if
you think that you can handle the pros, hop on in there.
Yeah, you would have had to get a match in and then feel it. Most people know by then.
Nobody's doing that anyways. People are prepping for that next match.
They're either in or out by then, and otherwise I'm cutting it off.
I mean, that wasn't even my consideration. My first tournament.
I was dumb and I did both.
Yeah, I mean.
I didn't even consider. I mean, I guess I was lucky enough to have Bill and everybody to be like, eh.
So luckily, I came in second in my pro class for the first tournament.
Man, just strong dude.
But there was only 2 people in the class.
And he was like, "Dude, second place, motherfuckers."
That's that fucking plaque. I tell you what. I'm like, I paid for this fucking plaque is all I did. And that was the worst feeling. Second out of 2 people. That's the worst.
Something. Yeah, here was the shirt.
It's the truth.
I can't deal with
Is that all right? Did I do all right on the shirt?
Man.
Yeah, I like that.
It's getting hard. I'm not a shirt designer, so it gets harder and harder.
Let me see this raggedy ass shirt.
Yeah, right?
Raggedy ass shirt, he said. I like it. Are you going to do any color variations or just that one?
No, just that one, man.
Gotcha.
I thought about it because last year was a hit, and I did do about 50-50. It was fine, but because of the two-tone and the colors,
cost. Yeah.
Well, not the cost, just the color of it, right? There's like I did that gold, that would be the same.
Yeah.
Then when I start changing, if I did, it would have been like a navy, like last time, and then the charcoal.
I'd go yellow.
But you can't do yellow with the gold. It looked like
Switch
shit.
the color.
Now you're doing a whole separate order, and it's different than doing a bulk order.
Go big. I think yellow would be great.
Yeah, it's all good.
I like it.
This is what it is.
I like the theme that carries on.
I'm thinking about maybe because this will be the last year of the Gladiator medals.
Oh, it is?
Well, the ones that I have right now, right?
Hmm.
So I'm thinking because, like, I like that. What do you think of that as a medal? The way that Gladiator helmet is.
So I've found some stuff that might help you on that front as far as like awards. So
thought about that for the
I saw
amateur masters ladies. We do the medals.
So who gets the team awards? Like
the top 3 teams.
I understand that, but I'm like, out of the team members, who gets the?
I don't know.
It stays in his house.
Who wants it? I need to start getting rid of them, man. They gotta
burglarize his house while he's sleeping for one of them.
Allegedly,
we'll get you a trophy. You need one?
Yeah, man.
Allegedly, put that in front of it.
I'm gonna start setting my workout room up downstairs with all my medals and stuff. My son's kind of got them scattered throughout the house.
Yeah. So this next one, dude,
up randomly on the wall. He's like, hang it up here, hang it up here. I got my medals hung up randomly throughout my house.
This next one's all you, dude. I'm not even there.
Oh,
somebody's got to grab it.
This coming, at the end of the month,
right? Brewskis?
Yeah.
Or you're missing it too, aren't you?
You're not going?
Didn't you just say you're missing it too?
Why would I miss it?
Oh no, I thought you.
Why are you missing it?
No, I
got to be in Mississippi.
Where are you going to Mississippi for?
Sean's event.
Another tournament.
He had me come down there to stream the event when this one was on the 25th.
Did you already get a room and everything?
It's like an RV park, man. I'm staying in his fucking RV.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's glamping.
Yeah,
what they call it? Glamping.
Oh no, it's like they got strongman or there's MMA fights on Friday night, and then there's kickboxing on Saturday with the arm wrestling, jiu-jitsu, weightlifting, bodybuilding, and then it's like there's a bunch of shit.
That's almost too. You're gonna be tired as hell coming back. You're gonna come back Sunday.
Yeah, I'll just pack up. Yeah, when I'm done Friday night, I'll leave real early Sunday and come back. That's a good drive down there. It's deep in Mississippi. It's Hattiesburg.
That's a long drive down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could kind of stay up here at this point, but I already told them I'd go, and I didn't know this shit was up here. But I'm good for my shit. So, it looks like Aaron says he's missing it too. Oh, Hangman, that's fucking Coy.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So that's all you do. Just make sure you get the team sheet right. And grab Tony and make sure he helps you fill it out. Because Tony works with me usually to fill them out. You got to pick the right people on that one.
All right. Simple as that. Just grab Tony.
I love pulling with
and
Aaron.
then you guys better win because that's your trophy. Watch it be the cool one too. The last cool one they had. No, for real, the last cool one they had, Billy fucking was there, and he's like, "Dude, my whole family's here, and the daughter really wants that trophy and shit, man. Like, you think I can get the team trophy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, for sure." And I'm thinking like,
it was a big
God
one
damn
too,
it, dude! It was like, no, it was just wood. They're all kind of the same, right?
It's just cool.
Yeah, it was different and cool. So I was like, I really wanted that one, so I was all excited about it. And at the end, he hit me with that, and it's like, what are you gonna say? Like, no, I'm not gonna give it to your kid. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. And I was like, seriously, do you like this one? Like, can we swap it out? You come give it, like get it.
A different one.
And I'm like, dude, I'm just kidding. Just take the fucking trophy.
Was it Aaron Shields that said he's not making it?
Yeah, it looks like he's missing.
That guy is strong. Every time I pull him, he reminds me how weak I am. Like every time.
And when I came back,
he could be a 242 guy too.
Yeah, he's strong, very strong.
He's how I was telling. He was the one I was testing my strength on when I first came back too. Yeah. He was blowing me out of the water.
Fuck, I couldn't even slow him down.
I'm pretty sure he still rips me across the table.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember one practice literally.
He mentioned something here. He says the only way he can pull you is posting top roll because his hands an absolute baseball mitt compared to his.
Man, he pulled me across the table so bad one time. We unstrapped whatever it was we did. I walked right from the table. I was like,
that hurt.
I went home. I went home right after. Yep. I didn't say that to anybody like specifically about anything. Probably Bill. I remember I said something to Bill afterwards or something. But I was like,
you gave the old
Irish
Irish
me
goodbye.
So bad, dude. I was like, all right, that's where I'm at. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to the drawing boards.
He's strong.
It's a monster.
Yep. We got some fucking killers. So I think I don't know. I just need everybody to show up on a team. Then we probably win the team. Everybody's going to have a problem. But That's because we got a good team, not because we got an advantage, or is it because of just the advantage of travel? Is it just volume advantage?
You want the honest answer or
I mean,
jaded?
The real answer.
Statistically, it would be
because last year it was like,
yeah,
dude, we had
quantity,
so
everything.
many more points than the other team.
Traveling, everything comes into that factor, depending on if you're traveling that day and pulling, or if you're traveling the day before and staying the night and then pulling the day after.
Yeah.
All that shit takes a big factor in the matter.
Yep, 100%. Cutting weight is the biggest one.
Yeah,
If somebody's cutting weight,
that too. All this stuff, man.
Most of those people travel in, right? You're cutting weight, you're using the early way in.
oh yeah, 100%.
I think that works in. That Friday night might be the bigger night because of the people staying Friday and then still leave Saturday, right? Where Saturday is the after party, but that's
Yeah,
probably a totally different crowd.
To me, I always tried to stay both, just because I didn't want to drive the same day as competing.
Yeah, well, here you're in St. Louis.
But like when I would legitimately travel Tennessee, Minnesota, wherever I was going, like even Kansas City, I would try to stay both. I would weigh in Friday, full Saturday, stay Saturday, and just leave Sunday.
I learned the hard way to do that.
Oh, I did too.
Could be fun though. It's nice, man. Nice down there.
Yeah. Even that 8-hour drive to Tennessee?
Well, it depends on where you're going. So like to get to
no, it was 4 hours to Kansas City. About 8 hours to Tennessee.
Tennessee,
No way.
like down to
Unless you're
Nashville, is like
going way
5.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nashville's like 5 hours and 15
Was it?
minutes. Yeah, for at least from St. Charles. I don't know about.
I think we
from
went to
here, but
Knoxville, somewhere around there.
Knoxville, you're probably 4.5. Tennessee's a little closer, so like your Clarksville area is about 3.5 from here. 3.5,
Okay,
4.
it's not that bad at all.
Depends on where you're at, and like you go north, it's not bad. You can get to Minneapolis in 8 hours. A little less than 8, so it's a little bit longer. And then you have Indiana. Get over to Fort Wayne, you're probably from here 3.5, 4 hours. Kansas City's what, 3.5? 4. Depends on who's driving.
3.5,
Depending on
4.
where we're going.
Yeah, depending on where in Kansas City, really.
Yeah.
Bill drives like a bat out of hell.
He's ready to get there and get out of the car. Yeah.
Ain't that bad.
Shit eating grin on his face. He's like, I might kill him. I mean, I don't know.
Wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm interested to hear, has anything came out of the match that's supposed to be getting set up for Bo Olsen now that he's beat Michael Todd? Did you hear everything that went on with that?
Yeah, and I don't know what that match is, but it just can't be in July. You got a match with Rashad.
Right. I'm interested to figure out who he's going to pull.
Yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
The reason I bring it up is because, in my opinion, Bo did a stand-up thing. He didn't take the money from Paul. He asked Paul instead to set him up with a good match, and he'll pull for it. Yeah. So instead of just taking the $1,000 because he beat Michael Todd, he said, instead, set me up with a big match. And
I saw that he said he would pay his travel and hotel too, so Bo better hold him to that shit.
Yeah, I hope he gets
all of it.
He deserves a big match because he's got the resume anyways to deserve it, but he's a solid guy, so I'm interested to see what comes of that, like who they line up. But yeah, it was interesting.
I like it. That like I'd like to see Doug Allen or
left-handed or right.
It's got to be right now. Bo's left's hurt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I give the edge to Bo.
I like that match. I know it doesn't mean much rankings wise or whatever, but I just like that match. But give him whoever the fuck he wants. Fuck it.
I agree. I'm curious to hear who they come up with. I'm also interested. I would love to ask Bo who he's the type of person. He's not probably going to tell you who he's got in his crosshairs, but I'm sure he's got somebody in mind. Doesn't RVJ have a match coming up too?
I heard something. Yeah.
I had to bring him up. There. You know that.
Yeah.
He's who is it? If anybody in the chat remembers who he's pulling,
I don't remember that one.
I saw a poster. Can't remember who was on the opposite side of it though. He's got a pretty good sized match. It might be even an international opponent. I can't remember who it is though.
Yeah, it probably is.
Damn it! I know who it is. I saw the I can see their
That's
face.
probably why I wouldn't know, because it's freaking international. I don't know them foreign guys.
There's a lot of good ones. I saw that Paul Lynn has a legitimate upcoming match in East versus West. You see that? Paul and Sasha.
Paul who?
Lynn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's got a match against Sasha.
Fucking beast.
I think it's a tall task, but I'm excited to see what he does with it. I mean, he looked great against Rustum. So.
Yeah. I don't know any of them foreign guys. Thought this was a U.S. fucking show.
God. Talking about legends of the sport. Come on.
Oh, fuck. Speaking of legends, I do that Mike West shit, man.
Yeah.
Some of those videos, them Harley pulls, man, had some nasty people in there.
Mm-hmm. I've been watching those videos. It's incredible to see some of the older pullers.
Watching how similar they pull to us.
It's just been going on forever, man. They just never gave their info up. Information travels quicker now.
What was
so.
it? What was it to do with the fucking big handlebars? Played in he actually played in the movie Over the Top.
Oh,
he's on the cover
Bull
of the
Hurley.
case.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rick Zumwalt.
I watched him pull in one of the old videos, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I thought it was awesome. Like, I seen him pull in the movie. Like, obviously you see him pull,
Yeah.
but you know, it's after pulling, you're like,
That one of the
watching it's a little.
one of the tables from that tournament was actually for sale recently.
Really?
Yeah, it was an incredible amount what they're asking though. It was like,
Oh, okay.
It was like a nice
The
used
donut
car.
pads and shit.
Yeah, it was a nice used car.
Like an $8,000 or something.
Like a very nice car. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
a little.
$8,000.
I think it was a little north of that if I remember correctly.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Holy
hey,
shit.
get what you get. Right?
Yeah. It's true.
Somebody probably
it's a
bought
movie
that shit
prop.
too.
I guess if you sell it like that.
Man, you just got to get that shit autographed and then double that shit.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was autographed or not. I just happened to see a post on it. I'm like, ooh, a little out of my realm, but
I'd like to pull on them donut pads once though, just to.
yeah.
I've never felt that shit, but you ain't get no elbow files. They barely called that shit.
There's a couple things I want to try that's similar to arm wrestling. I want to try sit down because I've never done it, just to see how much different
You'd
it is.
be good at that, probably.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Because like the stool is tiny, so I don't know if that's an advantage or not, and how to.
But
place.
you hook a lot, so that's
Yeah.
better. You're not like. It'd be horrible for me, or way worse for me.
Because you can't
it
really
would.
top roll. I mean, you can't
Yeah,
go back.
you're gonna,
Yeah.
well, you can, but it's yeah, you're gonna be more tested, right? It's gonna
Yeah.
be side pressure hook based, I would assume.
I think the Nationals is in Virginia.
I got a couple sit down events in those series.
Do you?
Yeah,
That's exciting. I'll have to check it. Yeah.
they had seat belts in some of them.
Yeah, seen it
I mean,
fall.
you didn't have to, I don't think, because some of them didn't do it. But a lot of Cobra.
Yeah.
Man, he was putting in some work in these parts. A lot of Ohio, Illinois, Kentucky. I just did a Florida. There was one with Cleve Dean when he was old, man. He was in the 2000s still pulling. Did you know that? It was like
Yeah.
No, I didn't
02,
know that.
03.
He was big. God, he was so huge.
Yeah, he was then.
You got Bobby Hopkins down there too in Florida. I don't know if he'll be on that video, but there's a chance he will be. That guy was a monster.
I don't think I've seen him yet, but yeah, Patton. was
Dave
on
Patton?
there. Yeah, John Brzezinski, Bath.
Pound for pound, he might be the best from the U.S.
Yeah, I had that one with him getting beat by Ingen
Yeah.
in I think it was 2001.
Yep. This is probably when Ingen was over here living here for about a year, I think. Yeah. Ingen's another one that's, for his size, was incredibly strong.
Yeah, it was a good match right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool going through all that shit. And then he's got more. So after I get done with this, he's got like high 8s and 8mm are the next steps. I don't know how much further I can go.
He's probably one of the nicest people that will give you all the time that you want to talk, like at a tournament or even talk about pulling or just outside of pulling. He's such a nice guy and strong too.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly strong. He's been pulling a long time.
Yeah,
Long
I mean,
time.
like what the first videos were about 85, 86.
That's what I'm
when it
saying.
came
That's
out.
pulling
And
from
he
85
said-
till now.
And that was he was already 4 years in. I think
Yeah.
it was 81.
Yeah. Yeah, he's incredibly
Something like
strong. Big hand too. Real wide hand.
Been pulling for about the same way the whole time. You see it, the way he's pulling, just how good it's like. God damn.
He's so comfortable in the hook. At least he looks like he's comfortable all the time.
Yeah. That's why I thought it would be cool like that. I mean, I had been talking to him about it for a couple years.
Yeah.
On doing it, because he said he had just boxes of them. He's just sitting there. I'm like, dude, I will so take those. And I'll go through them and label them and all that shit.
Right.
And he's like, oh, I'll get to them. And I'm like, man, dude, for real, I'll do that shit. Like, what, you know? And then he started putting some up, and so I thought he was doing it. And finally he was like, hey, man, I got some tapes. You really want to do that? I'm like, yeah. I do.
He's got some Missouri footage here on his YouTube channel from a tournament.
And that's why I said, I was like, man, I thought you were just putting them up. He's like, no, those are the ones that I already had on DVD.
Yeah.
From when I transferred them.
Yeah.
But I got boxes of whatever, and because it's a pain in the ass.
It's a lot of time. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in. Fuck that shit. So I just figured, let's just drop them chronologically, because that's the. Yeah. If you're going to watch them in full, like, might as well follow it, not just jump them around or just pick out the good ones. Like, no, it'll get better, and then those good ones will come out, but I think I'm just going to wait for that shit, because they'll run all year pretty much.
Yeah. I would say he's probably one of the more well-traveled arm wrestlers. Like, he's probably been to almost every state to a tournament.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. He went to, like, looked like 11 tournaments in 10 weeks in these things at some point, or like 12 and 11. Like, it was almost like every week plus an extra one in there, because there was a Thursday that he did both.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm like, holy shit, this motherfucker, like.
he's fucking traveled.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of tournaments. Like, how are there's, and 3 of them are in Kentucky. Like, they were putting on a lot of tournaments everywhere. Like, goddamn.
There was even when I was pulling, I went to a Friday night tournament in Illinois, and then turned around and went to a Saturday tournament over north of Kansas City. So I was cutting through the Friday night tournament to make weight for the next day. So, like, I made weight for the first one, stayed lean, and then pulled Saturday. I think I took third behind Brent and Tanner Seaton, and then turned around and pulled
Tanner
Cunningham's tournament in St. Joe? Richmond, somewhere over in there. And I won the 185 class. I think I got top 2 or 3 in the 98s. That might have been the first time I met Bo Olsen, actually.
I have seen Sterling pop up in those videos.
Yeah.
Bill Arnold, Bill Ballinger.
Ballinger's a monster.
Stroud. Ballinger was killing it back then, man.
He still kills it.
Bill Arnold, too.
Yeah, they forget how good those guys are. Yeah.
Jim Mitchell.
Yep.
Wayne Burns.
Yeah.
Paul and Craig Pumphrey. That Craig Pumphrey that beat Pablo at Illinois when you did. When nobody knew who he was.
He's a monster.
Him and his brother. Like, I got those from in the 80s when they were pulling. A lot of, like I said, Cobra.
And you got Jared's dad on some of them too, don't you?
Yeah, Tony Cook was killing it for a while there.
He's a bad man. Yeah.
There was one where he was outside. It's already dropped. I think it was one of the early ones.
Jared Cook?
Jim Mitchell was the ref.
Yeah.
Really?
He's almost getting into a fight with this guy. Yeah, that's a second generation pullers, man. That's what I mean. Like,
his dad was a
we're gonna start getting into third generation pullers now. You're gonna see, like, it's like MMA was, man. Where
my son would be a second generation. Your son's a second generation.
Yep. Yeah, Jared's dad was legit. Yeah, he's. What?
Ice.
Natural light's already light enough. I don't need to add ice to it, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching you bird peck through it for a minute.
I'm tired of this shit.
I'm like, when's he gonna dip the fucking glass in there already and take a whole soup full of it?
Shit. Yeah, I like that series
crazy.
though. That's awesome. It's fun watching those old videos and seeing where the tournaments were too.
Yeah, I wish it would grab more traction, but I think that's good for the slow. Because at the beginning, I didn't know many people either, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know those people, and it gets a little more exciting sometimes, and some of them are good, and then some of them I'm like, oh, I'm not. Like, there was one recently that I don't even think I'm going to be able to get up, because there was so much music on there that was just like, they're huge songs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, every one, and it's loud as shit, and it's like, but they're the ones that for sure are locked, because it's like Billboard top, you know. I'm like, yeah, this one's probably not getting anywhere.
YouTube's not a fan of that.
You
Yeah, that's shitty.
I got a cut off of
What the heck,
ESPN2, just a direct.
Oh yeah.
Like it was on ESPN2, and I'm like, I don't think I can pull that up because it's ESPN2. But I'm like, it was like 91 or 92. I'm like, I might because they didn't have nothing to block that shit.
Is there a watermark on it? So it's just a home shot, like.
Yeah, it's like they record like No, I didn't put my watermark on that one.
No, I'm saying is the ESPN's watermark on it?
Oh yeah,
okay,
it's the whole thing with the commercials and everything. But I'm like, here's the thing: it's like it's 91, dude, or 92. They maybe at like 2000 you couldn't pull it off, but before that you can kind of get that old ass shit up there because they're not. It wasn't recorded in.
Yeah, you might be able to.
I'm gonna try. Fuck it. But it was cool because it had like Brezink on that one. Mike West was on it. It was like yeah, a lot of those old guys at the time because 1991, 92.
Yeah, I like watching those old videos. The pulling styles are completely somewhat different.
Some football players and shit.
Yeah, the pulling is more rudimentary. It wasn't like as functional, like as fluent as it is now. Maybe because I don't think there was as much information out there, and there wasn't the internet, so they really didn't have a chance to like pick up.
Definitely, and they didn't transfer it either. So people, like you said, they didn't want to. Even Jared Cook was telling me his dad would bitch at him, like sharing the info. Like, you know how long it took me to get that information? You're just giving it up to these guys. Like, he's like, Dad, if I don't give it to them, like I'm beating them all. I can't do anything. I need to make them better.
Yeah, that's the truth. Though.
They don't want to give up that info because it's like they learned that shit. Like they fucking had to figure that out on their own, and you're like, you're just giving it up.
It's interesting because. That arm wrestling is not the only hobby that's that way too. So I build demolition derby cars. Same principle. Like people will figure out things with cars, and you can see it, but you can't quite figure out how they do it. Most of the time, they don't want to tell you because it's trial and error.
Yeah,
and they don't.
If I tell you, then
they're
gonna figure it out.
That's even worse. Like you basically have to just kind of figure it out by looking at it. They're not going to tell you.
My brother was always like that. If he figured something out, like in games though.
Yeah.
Like I'd say Mortal Kombat, for instance, he'd figure something out, and he would never tell me how he did it, and I'd be like, "How did you do that?" And he'd be like, "About yourself."
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was never going to be that good, so I always just wanted to get people better.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to teach you how to get what you should be doing so that you get better. And if you get better than me, then it's just going to make me better. And if I can't beat you, then I'll just have to get better.
And I don't think you see it at the bottom or the top. It's kind of like your mid-tier pullers, like where they're jockeying, trying to like get up to that top tier. Because if you watch a lot of the bigger events, like guys are on the side table after the event. But it's interesting because they're not really pulling. They basically just kind of grip up and feel each other out. They don't really get past center. So they just want to kind of feel the pressure. Most of the time, they're not going to go like full tilt, try to pin. So it's funny because they'll just kind of strap up and kind of feel each other out, and that's basically it. Like your lower level like pullers are going to like get on the table and try to pin each other and all that shit. And then the mid tier is what I call it. Like your mid-level pros trying to jockey to the top of the rankings. Like they don't want to pull. They don't want you to feel what they got going on in case they don't think they're strong enough or weak. So
it's like Pickett. And Lawson was out there, right? So I catch him on the side. He's like, "Hey, come on, let me get that right," because I kind of went through him at that last Brewskis.
Yeah.
So then, like, I just pulled him anyway. I don't give a fuck. Like, let's see. So let's see what he picked up because he's smart as fuck.
Oh yeah.
So I gave it to him, let him know, and he's like, "Oh, so you're doing?" And like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go here, da 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 da," and then we'll see if next time if I can do it again because he could adjust and now stop me, right? But we'll find out because that's what I want, right? And then I got to get better.
I always wonder too, like, how much effort are they putting in on the side table? Like, what percentage are they pulling out? Because I found some guys that are like, "Oh shit, I got something for him," and then you get in the tournament, and it's like, "Ooh, he had to turn down a dial." I can tell now. Yeah, so there's guys that do that.
Everybody's sandbagging, right?
I kind of like have a little story about that. Like, who's that? I can never think of the guy's name. Did that practice pull with that real fancy place with Brent?
Yeah, the EXO nail salon or whatever.
The big guy that came, man.
From over there?
Left-handed guy. He's
Lane
Liggett.
Lane Liggett's buddy.
Christian
Christian Lyons.
He's right-handed, but yeah.
He is a monster, dude. Listen, dude was tearing us up practice, like tearing me up. Like I'm like, I have nothing for this.
Yeah.
Like hooking up, like nothing.
Yeah.
Tournament-wise, just I had him outside of his, I guess, outside of his comfort zone, and
yeah,
I was like, oh crap, I didn't even think I had anything for this guy, but I had something for him. I mean, like that ready to go means it's a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're a top roller, because that hit means everything in your positioning
Being
on the table.
first, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, your pressure is hard to deal with for a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
The top pressure or whatnot. So, all right, I think we're good. What do you think?
Yeah.
A little time on the table.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, week I feel.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all.
Much love.
And we out.
Peace.
I think.